Hello, welcome to the Calyx, a weekly Call of Cthulhu show where Becca Scott and friends and talented colleagues play different scenarios of Call of Cthulhu. This week, we are playing part 2 of the 19th Hole, which is a scenario that comes out of Mansions of Madness, but you can get from Chaosium. I'm Ash Minnick. Just realized I didn't say that. Hi, I'm Ash. I'm going to go ahead and introduce my cast, starting with Becca Scott.
It's not my show. It's everyone's show. It's the Calyx. It's for everyone that's not me to come play games for me. Does that make sense? Anyway, Chaosium is our sponsor, and you can help to also be our sponsor in a sense by checking out their wonderful website at chaosium.com. And when you check out, you can get 10% if you use off. I almost knocked my tea over. You can get 10% off all the things on their wonderful online store if you use this code. Calyx 2021. That's it. That's the spiel. Ash Minnick, I'm so excited for part 2 of this adventure in your Scottish accents.
Oh my goodness. I'm a feeling as well that's similar to excited. I also loved your sponsor spiel. It's like Chaosium is their sponsor, and you can too.
I'm really good at this.
All right, so let's bring in our next player, Minnick.
Yeah.
Monique.
Hi.
Oh no, there's something in my eye. Hello, Monique.
Is it the stars? Are the stars in your eyes?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Monique. I go by Game Freak Geek Girl or Game Freak Geek on Twitter or Twitch. Then hi, but I'm here. I'm going to be playing Edie Ann Smythefield.
Nice. I feel like we all took a little a shot of adorable awkward today. Did you guys take?
Gotta take your daily awkward shot. Let's bring in Erica, see if maybe she can inject some non-awkwardness.
I don't know.
Can I? Oh, we'll see. Hi, I'm Erica Fermina, also known as A Style Pixie across all social media, and tonight I am playing Jennifer Smallwood, your dilettante.
0% awkward.
And
Nailed
it was 0% awkward till you did that.
I know. I know. What's wrong with me? Yay! More 19th hole.
All right, amazing. So let's get right into it. Now that we've introduced everybody again, y'all, thank you for playing this wonderful game with me. Thank you for having me. So 19th hole takes place, for those of you who are watching this second session before the first session, go back and watch the first session after this. It's great. So it takes place in 1928. It is September 17th. I know last time I actually said September 16th. That was a bold-faced lie. I was lying. It was a test. You all passed.
Everyone is furious. They all were going crazy in the comments.
That's what I figured. So I'm just apologizing. So it's September 17th. Our intrepid adventurers have arrived in a little town outside of Dundee, Scotland, to visit their friend, Mrs. Macmillan, Crystal Macmillan, whose husband has gone missing a little over 48 hours ago. He went missing on September 14th at his golf course. And Becca, why don't you do a little recap of what y'all found when you got to this little town outside of Dundee?
Oh, I would love to do that, Ash, but
I feel perhaps Mimble Buckworth should do the introductions instead.
Yeah, I agree.
Hello, it's me, Mimble. I'm writing in my diary. Yes, I've traveled with my friends Jennifer and Edith Ann, and we've traveled all the way from New York City to Dundee. Outside of it, Mrs. Macmillan, originally of Pittsburgh, she's a coiffed woman in her 50s, was somewhat distraught as well. Her husband has disappeared, and it seems she cares about this situation. We too care deeply. Yes, Arthur seems to be a nice man. At least someone my friends care about. And, well, in her beautiful home known as Crowwood Hall, we've met Mr. Keating, the butler, Teresa and Katie, some charming girls that know quite a bit of gossip about the town. Miss Grant, the cook. Oh, yes, I'm excited to try her double roasted duck. And Mr. Kilburn, the valet, who I have a particular fondness for. Yes, we've learned through heading to the Queen's Head pub that not only do they serve magnificent beverages, not just sherry, but whiskies. Would you believe it? I tried mine for the very first time in front of a man named Nairn, the foreman on the Thistledown golf course. Now, of course, the missing Mr. Arthur was renovating said golf course when he went missing. So missing. Yes, well, Nairn says that there is trouble. All of the employees that worked on the golf clubhouse were getting sick and quitting because of all this sickness. Even within an hour of working in the clubhouse, they would see strange things as well. They would see strange balls of light and ghosts and ghostly apparitions. And all this came out because my dear friend Edie fed lots of Scotch eggs, here they just call them eggs, and liquors to this man Nairn. Let's see. What else did I write in my diary? Yes, that's about it, except that I won an arm wrestling competition.
You did, and you made lots of friends. That was a lovely recap. Edie, Jennifer, do you feel like Mimble missed anything in her diary? All right. So
I missed something. There was something. What else?
There were nightmares.
Yeah, and somebody was flirting with Margaret. Oh, the nightmares. Yeah.
Edie was taken by Margaret. The bartender.
Oh, you gave a gift to your secondhand man, Summers, Edie's secondhand man. You gave him a gift of some vodka, which he looked favorably upon.
Edie's Russian butler.
Whiskey for ourselves, I believe.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. Yep.
For Mimble to share with the valet because he was a whiskey guy and they only had sherry at the house.
That you found. And so we find you now. You've returned to the house and you're all getting ready for supper. A couple of other things that you guys had implied about Edie had consistently looked for either historical information books or a historian of some sort. In fact, inquired with the bartender about that. Margaret, who was able to impart a few small historical details. You have also all been chasing the leads on hellhounds and ghosts and all the weird things. But yeah, so let's go ahead and go to Crowwood Hall. So the immaculately updated and decorated Crowwood Hall, it's getting ready for supper or dinner. One of those. It's the same thing. It is about 7:00. Y'all are just getting the finishing touches on getting ready as you hear the Keating ring the dinner bell. The staff is busy setting up dinner. There's kind of an excitement. They're a little bit more a buzz as they're setting up. So you're all in your respective rooms and you hear the dinner bell. Yes. Do you all make your way down to the dining room?
Well, we have done a bit of searching of the study where we found nothing at all of value. But I'm wearing a long evening dress with ruffles at the neck and very mermaid tight up to the ankles, down to the ankles. Yes, it's very difficult to walk in more than just small little steps.
Yeah.
I am dressed in Summer's clothes because our luggage was mixed. So I'm going to dinner in his clothing that has been carefully tucked and rolled so that it fits me and doesn't droop too low. It's new
so
fashion
avant-garde, so nouveau, Edie.
You find Summers eagerly waiting at the bottom of the stairs. He's a little taken aback.
Is he wearing an evening gown?
He's not. He has not changed, so he's still wearing his buttle form. It's a butler uniform. He's not quite as immaculately dressed as Keating. Obviously, this is his travel outfit, but he's not changed yet. But he sees you and looks a little. You want I should get your bakes?
Yeah, I'll wear my own clothes after dinner, but I panicked, and I feel like it's too late now.
You look very lovely.
Oh, thanks.
Very, very lovely.
I'm hoping to say it's all the rage in New York.
It's good lie.
Thanks.
Miss Edie, you wear New York fashion so well.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Look how good you look.
I'm slowly coming down the stairs, one step at a time. It's like very hard to even take one stair with this dress.
And then Jennifer, where are you at this point?
Jennifer's catching up. She's just wearing a simple but elegant, not quite floor-length gown, but you know.
Ankles showing? Oh my, scandalous.
Keating sees you struggle, Mimble, and quickly runs up and gives you a hand and goes, Mum? Mum?
Yes, of course.
And I put both arms around his neck, and then I just lift my feet off the ground.
Wow, I might have to roll for him. I don't have.
Thank you, Keating. It's the dress, you understand.
I want to help Keating.
All right. So Keating drops you.
Can I roll for to catch myself?
Yeah, go ahead.
Dex, maybe?
Yes.
We got a hard success.
You land perfectly. So Keating tries to catch you, and you just slip right out of his soft butler hands. But amazingly, you land on your feet as though that was what was meant to happen the whole time.
Ta-da! Thank you, Keating. I didn't know we'd be providing the show with supper.
Yes, Mum. I should go. And then he walks away down the stairs.
He likes me.
It's rather dejected. And then we see Jennifer coming down the stairs. So you all make your way to the dining room. Can I have all of you roll spot hidden for me as you get into the foyer?
Oh, indeed.
Now I fail.
Now you fail.
Oh,
that's okay.
Fail.
So Edie, as you all are going from the foyer back towards where you know the dining room to be, you notice there is a jacket and a hat on the sort of the hooks by the door that was not there before. It's not crystals, and it is not a staff jacket. So it's possible there's somebody else here right now.
A ladies or men's jacket? Or...
It's hard to tell from where you are. It's definitely not a formal ladies jacket, but it looks a bit like a men's what's that word?
The overcoat or raincoat?
No, but that's
lapel.
Fine. So we'll just go with jacket. It looks like a men's jacket. It looks like it could be a men's jacket. But it's a bit small if it were.
Okay.
Seems like we might have another person joining us for dinner.
Oh my, I do love guests.
Yes.
Where are the guests? Other guests.
Other guests. Mimble, I'll offer my elbow.
Oh, Edie, you dear.
I don't want you to trip, dear.
No, I wouldn't.
I'd significantly slow you down, taking one little step at a time.
I'll take it in stride and just show it as if I'm honored to present to you.
Jennifer will come up on the other side and try to help take some of the weight.
It's more of a shuffle than a walk.
Oh yes.
So as you sort of walk in the direction of the dining room, you see Keating waiting kind of in a doorway, and he does this. And as you pass him into another hallway that isn't the dining room, he rushes ahead of you to the next doorway and does this. And he continues to do that sort of just all the way until you get to the dining room. just to make
this
sure.
way. Yes.
Just to make sure you make it.
He's nimble, that Keating.
Yeah. As you
The
get
time he dropped me, did you see?
did.
No, he couldn't handle the weight of your glory.
Edie, you have such a great spin.
Keating, who is there listening to you as you're having this conversation, just kind of looks a bit more bashful. Oh yes, Mum. Your glories. I'm sorry. It was terrible. It was I was terrible. You were graceful. And, yes, quite obviously.
Well, from now on, you'll have to keep your hands off my glories.
Oh yes, Mum. Obviously, of course. No, I would never touch. Oh. He's quite embarrassed. Quite so. So you finally get to the dining room, which is just as lavish as the rest of the house. It is clearly meant for dinner parties. However, it also looks like it's not yet really been used for that. The table is set, in fact, for 5. So there is one more place than you were expecting. And sitting in that extra place is a woman probably in about her late 30s. She has very thick, red, curly hair, almost in ringlets. And she's, sitting very prim and proper. She looks like she's in a tweed suit, but, trimmed for a woman of her figure. But she's wearing pants, which, gasp.
Edie, that's your look. New York Nouveau.
Yes, I told you. New York. Yeah.
And she sees the 3 of you enter and she stands and goes, "Oh, that's so nice to see you all here. And I very much like your fashion there, man."
Yeah, I love your trousers. Great. Fantastic. Looks wonderful. Been to New York?
No, I haven't, but I do intend to someday.
All the rage. It's great.
All the rage.
Sorry, I'm Fiona. Hello.
Hi, I'm Edie. I'm Edith Ann. You can call me Edie. This is my friend Mimble and my friend Jennifer, and that's Summers.
Right.
Over there.
Edie, Mimble, and Jennifer, was that?
Yes.
It's so lovely to meet y'all. So sorry, I sat ahead. I just I had some notes, but we'll wait for the lady of the house to join us.
Oh, indeed.
I shuffle around the whole long table very slowly and get to the other side. I imagine there's a lot of empty chairs and places not sat because it's a very long, grand table. And when I finally get over to Fiona, I pull a card out of my bosom and I hand it to her.
Mimble Buckworth, duelist.
Oh, this is a fancy card, that.
It's actually the lining around the edge of the card. Sterling.
Wow.
That's why it's so heavy. Yes.
Right. I was wondering about that. Also was wondering where the that's fine. This is a great card. I'll keep that. I will. Yes, to your point, it is a very long table, but your it's set on the end. So there's
I went the long way.
So there's a seating place on the very end that's set, and then 2 sort of on the side, on the closest to that end. The plate set at the head of the table is most likely for Mrs. McMillan.
Right. Well, I learned in finishing school, you always go clockwise, so I had to think about it, but I went the very long way.
Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. So just then, Mrs. McMillan, Crystal enters, and good. Yes, you've met. I'm so sorry. This is Kilburn told me that you were hoping to something about the history of the. I don't know. Fiona is actually his history professor, originally from this town. So I've invited her to dinner. Hopefully to answer some questions. I know Kilburn had said that you ladies were interested in the history of the town. I don't know necessarily how it helps, but I don't really know much of anything right now. So.
Oh,
Yes.
Crystal, you seem certainly frazzled. I believe Edie and Jennifer, you're both interested in history. Me, myself, well, I already know all that is necessary about this town, the gems that were mined here. Well, what else is there to know, really?
Right. Well, let's sit, shall we?
I sit.
Are there place
Champion
cards, or
role-playing.
is it
No,
a
it's
free-for-all?
it's casual. So there's no place cards. It's just Fiona has taken the spot at one of the corners to the right of Crystal's place setting.
I jump in front of Edie's chair if she's trying to sit not next to Fiona.
Say, oh, how about I take this one? That one looks open for you. Well,
I was going to say
matchmaker.
that I could sit across from Mimble so that Edith can sit across from Fiona.
We did learn in finishing school. Playing footsie is the ultimate secret way to flirt at a table.
What finishing school did you go to?
I don't know, but that's how we know each other.
We did finish it though.
We did.
But
At least Edie and I definitely did. I'm not sure about Mimble.
Yes, no, I was expelled. Did we not mention that?
She still showed up. We just still covered for her.
Did, yes. I wasn't able to pay tuition. We don't need to talk about it.
So Edie will try to go from the furthest seat away from Fiona, and like Jennifer will be like, "Oh, thank you," and then like she'll say, "Yeah, I was going to pull out that chair," and then, like goes over to take the seat next to Fiona, and then sees like Mimble like working so hard to get to the chair and just be rude at this point to try and beat her to it. Just very awkwardly,
Very
like,
subtly sheepdogging you to the seat.
Is there something wrong with the chairs? Is that do we need to get different chairs, or do the settings not please you? Should we move to another side of the table?
they're lovely. This is lovely. Thank you. I was just, everyone has their favorite place to sit.
You know, Edie, I heard you were the one interested in history, so why don't you just sit across from Fiona so that you can chat?
Okay. All right.
Finally been seated.
Yes.
Wonderful. The most important part of the evening has been decided.
It's ready. Yes, I'm ready. And she'll like pull out her journal and notebook, which is in her pocket. Do you mind, Crystal, if I take notes during dinner?
Sure, if that's Fiona does the same thing. So if that makes you happy, that's fine.
Excellent.
You academics, you very rude. Anyway, the soup is brought out for everyone, as well as water. And if anybody would care for sherry or wine with dinner, that is also
If you insist.
poured. And Summers also helps with the dinner service. You notice he's fit right in. So, is there anything specific about this area that you all were wanting to know?
I'd love to know a little bit more about the original builder of the golf course.
Oh, right. Ah, yes, you're interested in Thistledown. Are you a golfer yourself?
No, I just love fall. I just fell in love with the quaint nature of King William Black's Crowswood, and wanted to know about some of the more surrounding areas, and was just really curious about why such a beautiful town would have a failing golf course.
It's a little out of the way, this area. So the golf course was originally built by Arthur Macmillan. He's actually a very famous architect. He's made a lot of different golf courses. This particular one didn't do so well. It opened in 1909. I think it took him about 3 years to make. Opened in 1909, and it got terrible reviews straight away. In fact, I actually was chatting rather a lot with Master Macmillan as he was building it, and he had only kept 5 of the original holes. The other ones he completely redid because they were just a bit of an eyesore. They were. Aye, but as for
It's just
McMillan,
land with one small hole in it. I mean, what could have been bad about it?
oh no, lass, it's not just land with holes in it. It's it's a golf course. It's a Scottish golf course, so um, it takes into account the geography of the area. So the golf course is very, it's a representation of our culture and of our history.
Oh, well, then,
History.
such a shame to hear 14 of these holes were a failure.
Oh no, a golf course has 18 holes.
18, you say?
Aye.
I check my notes. Yeah.
Does-
Wow.
So this one has 19.
No, a golf course has 18. This course has 18 holes.
18. And you said there were how many original ones that they did not use?
He only kept 5, so he's already done 13 of them, especially the 9th hole. That one's got a terrible, terrible reputation, it does.
What
Well,
type
I
of
know that-
reputation would a hole have at a golf course?
Oh, darling, you don't want to go there.
Is it in the red
Alright.
light part of the golf course district? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, they call it Satan's Reach.
Oh, my.
That's the 9th hole. Locals here are very superstitious. They kind of glom onto silly things. But there's always been odd rumours, even when the course was open. And there's a pond by the 9th hole, and there's a famous golfer actually tried the course out. No one really liked it, honestly. There was a period of time where the owners, around 1913, which was about 4 years after it opened, about 3 years before it closed, they were trying to get people to come in, so they were paying famous golfers of the time to come check this course out. And it didn't really work, especially because for this particular golfer, what was his name? Oh, John Campbell. He was found dead on the course.
Never a good sign.
Yeah, he was found, face down in the pond by the 9th hole. It was later found out that he was poisoned. And, who knows what it actually was. They ruled it as suicide, which is a bit silly. But the locals think he killed himself because the devil possessed him.
Now, you say the pond was poisoned or the man? Because poisoning an
man.
entire pond would
Oh,
be
no.
quite a bit of poison, I should think.
Oh no, the man was poisoned.
That makes more sense than an entire pond.
I mean, it was a bit odd, found in the pond and he was poisoned. But anyway,
He was found in the pond.
hi,
And what hole is the pond near?
the 9th hole.
But it was the 8th one that's Satan's.
No, the
Oh,
9th
no.
one. The 9th one.
The 9th.
Aye. But as I said, it's a lot of local superstition. There's a lot going on in this town. I think they're just bored. It's a small town. I'm originally from here, so I love it. I'll always love it. But I went to the University of Edinburgh, and my eyes were open really to what a society should act like. I don't mean to sound pretentious, but I cannot stand all the superstition. It's, for instance, there was also there's this dog, right? A hellhound.
Oh, yes, we've heard of this hound.
Yeah. So when things started to happen, they were saying the hellhounds were going across the course, etc. But that's just silly. It was after it closed. I didn't remember the exact date, but it was before it was a military barracks, because the military took the golf course over about a year after it closed, so about 1916. But a bit after that time, there was a man who basically just had a hunting accident, and it was really terrible. But he shot his own son. But he blamed it on this hellhound. He said the hellhound, shape shifted or something, and
Was the boy very furry?
I didn't ken. Not that furry though.
Because I could see the confusion if he were, overly entering pubescence and very hairy in the face.
Aye. that's all just superstition to explain things that people don't want to talk about, I think.
Any?
So you don't think?
Go ahead, please.
Oh, I was just going to say. So you think the Hellhound, ghosts, curses are all nonsense then?
Oh, aye.
Hmm.
Just nonsense.
I turned
Have
to
you ever-
Crystal.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask Crystal.
Crystal, I'm so sorry. It's not bothersome for you to hear this talk of curses and Satan when your husband's missing somewhere.
I appreciate you, darling. That is very kind. You also noticed that Crystal hasn't touched her soup.
How are you holding up, darling?
I placed my hand on hers.
I mean, how should one hold up when their husband is gone and the police don't care and everyone, thinks he's vanished? And I don't know, honestly. I've only been here, 4 months? I've not seen any apparitions or anything, but I don't know. I also...
Not even in your dreams?
I'm sorry?
Well, I hope you don't mind me asking, but some of the staff had some upsetting dreams that felt, well, supernatural in nature.
Why don't you go ahead and roll charm or persuade for me?
Oh, okay. Mimble is good at persuade. Not today, Satan. Satan's reach.
Not today, Satan.
I want to push. I want to push.
Push it.
Push.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same. That's not fair.
Oh no. Crystal gets a little offended. That's not appropriate for dinner talk. You know what? I think you ladies should enjoy your dinner. And she leaves the room.
Crystal, wait! Oh no, nuts! Bollocks.
That is
Ooh.
interesting response.
Well,
I think
I've upset her.
I think the loss of her husband has upset her. I'm sure that's it. She's a bit stressed, a bit tired.
Right. It wasn't the fact that I directly asked a question, then she stormed out. I feel responsible.
I know. I think she'll. It'll be fine. Be forgotten in the morning.
All right then.
we could give her... I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I was going to say we could give her a little bit of time, but should we check on her after dinner?
Oh yeah. I mean, perhaps after dinner, give her a moment. You may know her better than I do. I've only known her a couple of months now, but
Jennifer?
We can check on her and see if she wants to talk to us. But I think for now we should probably just give her a bit of space.
Fiona, I have to ask, do you know, of course it's not your specialty, but this detective inspector, do you think he's doing his best to find Arthur? I mean, there hasn't been anyone dredging up the pond or stomping through the woods. I would think for a missing man of his stature, they should be turning the town upside down.
That is true. Usually, I think the Dundee investigators don't give much clout to things that happen out here in the country, but Arthur is a famous American. But I heard that, well, again, I didn't give in to superstition, so it's probably, I take it with a grain of salt. But I had heard from a couple of gentlemen that after the investigators came, they had little motivation to spend a lot of time at the clubhouse, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yes, of course, we've heard of the curses.
The curses?
Well, the sickness.
Oh, aye.
Were you referencing something separately?
Oh, no, it's very similar. I hadn't heard of curses specifically, but, ghosts and the like. Load of bollocks, if you ask me. But they did seem to leave in a hurry. Which is
Have you been in, Fiona?
and the club. Oh, I have been. I was there when it opened. Actually, I was there at the opening. There was a big party. Everyone had high hopes for it. In fact, one of my colleagues was there at the opening as well. Although I guess he's no longer my colleague. He's a bit disgraced, I guess. He was a tenure professor at Edinburgh University, and he was, had grants to do all kinds of research. He and his partner, what was her name? Jan or something like that. Jan. Anyway, he was a doctor as well, Dr. Gelmore. He did all these weird, you might also call it paranormal. He was a bit obsessed with the paranormal. He was a bit oddball. Eventually, he and his partner, Jan, I cannot remember her last name, Lockley, something like that. But they eventually got kicked out of the university. But he was from this part as well. He's a bastard son of the Duke of Montrose.
Oh, intriguing.
Excuse me.
But yeah, he left the university about 10 years ago, actually. 1918, he was kicked out. Disappeared. So I'm lagging about. Well, I mean, he not like Arthur did. He disappeared like I don't know where he is. I did see him lagging about actually in town a bit before he left, but he also was oddly obsessed with the golf course. I think because of all the paranormal stuff, his interests and all the superstitions. Yeah.
Fiona, I wonder if you don't believe in any of this nonsense. Well, ladies, should she perhaps accompany us to the clubhouse?
Oh, it's closed, isn't it?
Oh, right, of course. We couldn't possibly then.
No. I don't have a key.
Oh, no, none of us do.
No.
Oh. Well,
Hey.
I'm sure Nairn could give you keys, eh?
True. But, let's say we did get a key. Would you be interested in finding things to poke on about Dr. Gelmore's crackpot theories? That'd be fun.
Well, I would be interested to see the inside of the golf course, see how it's doing. Arthur didn't talk much about it outside of he and his workers after he started. I know there were issues for a bit, but he had such grand plans. I'd love to see it renovated. When were you planning on going? Oh, sorry.
Probably later tonight, or very early in the morning. Did we decide?
Early in the morning. I'm worried about Crystal and her nightmares.
Her what?
How would you react if you did see something paranormal?
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I was wondering how Fiona might react if she did see something paranormal.
Well, I don't can. I never have. So, I suppose it depends how paranormal it was. I'm sure I'd be surprised.
Fiona, asking for a friend, are you in any sort of are you married?
No, I'm not the type to marry.
Interesting. Now, who is really? I once had a man named Billings.
Oh,
Damn Billings.
Yes. Marriage. Awful, terrible, tragic stuff.
Yes, I never would have married Billings, even if he'd asked and he hadn't died in that car crash on the same day I found of his treachery. Anyway.
Mimble was cheated on.
Oh, I see.
Soup is delicious.
The soup is wonderful. And,
yes.
This wine. Fiona, do you prefer wine or whiskey?
Oh, I like whiskey, but I grew up, in these parts, so it's kind of you wean yourself on whiskey when you're a wee bairn. So I got into it very young. That's what I'm saying. I know it's not really like the Americas to drink so young, but
when
she says, "Oh, sorry," When she said she's a whiskey drinker, Jennifer's gonna give Edie one of these.
So just then the butlers come out and replace the soups with the duck, the roast duck. Mimble, you find your duck has been double roasted, which Grant has just sort of burnt it a bit. She wasn't really sure what double roasted was, so she just roasted
Just as
it
I
twice.
prefer it.
And of course, there are potatoes along with the duck and a small plate of blood pudding.
Mimble
And Fiona
devours
goes
it.
to town. Yeah, eating away.
I look like Cookie Monster. I never got through that class of elocution.
Grant, Keaton, tell Grant that this is amazing as always. Very, very good. Yes, obviously.
Fiona, I wonder, even as a girl, did you ever head into the woods and perhaps look for the hellhounds?
Oh, as a girl, as a young girl, I think it's like, what is it? The bogeyman. It's that sort of thing where you tell kids, don't go into the woods, the hellhounds will get you, just to keep them close to the house. So, of course, we all went into the woods. That's what kids do. And, when you're a kid, you imagine all sorts of things. So I always thought I had seen them or I heard them, but that's just your imagination, isn't it?
Oh.
Exactly. Hey, I've never been bitten or anything, or never lost a friend on the full moon to the hellhounds. Just a bit of fun.
Indeed. It seems the sun is setting now.
Oh, aye.
Is this when the hellhounds come out?
Again, I'm not a big believer in them, but I do know that they're meant to come out around the full moon, and I think we're about a week off from that.
Ooh, interesting.
I think it would still be fun to have a historian take us on a tour through the golf course tonight. What do you think?
Oh, tonight? A nighttime golf tour. Oh, that's fun, that is. Although you hadn't mentioned that Crystal has nightmares.
Yeah, the morning's a better time to do that. Or maybe, tomorrow night if you're free. We're free. We're here if you want to join us. That'd be great.
Hey, sure. I'm here for a couple of days, but I hadn't heard about the nightmares. That's terrible.
Yeah, right. That's the thing we should focus on tonight.
Oh,
I think we should give everyone a course in lucid dreaming. If only they could open a door or whatnot. Oh, perhaps they could be the one who's hitting Billings with the car. I mean, taking control of their nightmares.
Lass, if it makes you feel better, I will hit Billings with my car in my dreams tonight.
Oh, that would. But also bring him flowers.
That's a bit confusing.
Yes, tell me about it.
Right? Okay.
Oh, well, things were left unresolved.
The dreams are the perfect place for the unresolved issues to come up. I've heard.
So Crystal re-enters the room and she looks a little somber. Maybe she's been crying a little bit. Her eyes are a little puffy, but she's kind of always looked not great. Not always, but this entire, couple of days, her day, you've seen her, she's not looked great. But she re-entered, she's dearly sorry. I just, haven't slept in a bit. Did not mean to snap. I think I should try to turn in early. But please, enjoy the food and whatnot. Again, I apologize.
Can I walk you to your room? Like, she'll stand up and.
Oh, of course. Yes, for sure.
Would you like us to bring you a plate of food up to your room as well? Just so you can get some sustenance, darling.
Oh, I appreciate that. I might have some tea, but I couldn't possibly stomach anything at the moment. Yes,
Well, I'll stay right here. I heard there will be a dessert of some kind.
Oh yes, and Grant makes lovely, lovely. It's bread pudding. It's fabulous. So highly,
Don't you just
highly
call that
recommend.
pudding here?
No, it's bread pudding
Bread pudding, yes.
with bread. Well, it's
Mm.
It sounds lovely.
Don't worry, Edie. I won't finish yours.
Thank you, Mimble. Jennifer, excuse me. Fiona, pleasure talking with you.
Hi, shall I see you around?
She'll escort Crystal to her room.
All right, so we'll jump back to that in a second. So you two exit the room. So we've got now Fiona, Jennifer, and Mimble at the dinner table. Jennifer, do you stay there or?
Yeah, I'll stay since
Okay.
Crystal doesn't want food brought with her.
Fiona, do you know anything about the personal life of Kilburn the valet?
Not really. I know he's been with the family for a bit. He's as new to me as Crystal is. What sort of personal life facts were you hoping for?
Oh, nothing, just everything.
Mimble's quite taken with the valet.
Oh, aye. I didn't know him well. We've only just met as he's only been here same amount of time again, 4 months. So I know he seems to be a solitary, sturdy man.
Oh, yes.
You know,
I've seen that much.
lives
Do
at
you know
the
anything
house.
about his preferences?
How do you mean?
Is he
Am
the
I
marrying
his type?
Is
Oh.
Mimble his type? Is marriage his type? Is marriage to a woman his type?
Oh, I don't know kind of about marriage. I've seen him, with some ladies from the village, but I think they've not really been his type. They're a little. I think he's a city boy, if you will. So
Oh, is he? Interesting. He seemed rugged and outdoorsy to me, but then again, I've never met someone who I would actually consider to be those things, so who am I to know?
I just think some of the girls in this town are a little simple, and I can relate, I think, to his inability to finding someone in this town worth talking to.
You can relate, you said.
Again, it's my home. Love it, but I've grown apart from it, from this lifestyle.
As a professor.
Aye.
Well, if you've ever liked to see magnificent gemstones and maybe learn a bit more about them, I have a shop in New York.
Oh, aye. Are you all from New York?
Sort of.
Oh, right, obviously.
By
Right.
way of Hampshire. For
Yes.
this one. I've been all over.
Oh.
Well, Fiona, if you'll excuse me, I must retire to my room. I'm feeling weak.
I'm gonna go look for Kilburn.
As you leave, Keating is walking in with bread. Oh, should I bring it to a room, Mum?
Oh, yes, please. In my room would be excellent.
Quite. And he gives Fiona and Jennifer bread pudding and shuffles off to bring you bread pudding. All right, so let's switch to
As I
Edie.
shuffle very slowly. Quick steps, slow movement.
In your tiny mermaid dress.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Edie and Crystal, you are now ascending the stairs, coming into Crystal's room.
As we go up the stairs, I want to see like how she seems to take the stairs after like not eating today and resting today, and like does she seem pale or weak, or does she just seem fine other than just being stressed and in mourning?
She's not necessarily sickly, Oh, sorry, you're not worried about her collapsing upon you, but definitely seems tired, takes them, a bit slower than a more energetic person would. But yeah, she's not necessarily sickly, but she does look like someone who's not slept in 3 days or eaten much.
And okay, please.
Really, Edie, you didn't have to walk me up. I do know the way to my bedroom, but it's very kind of you.
I know, Crystal. I just worry I haven't been able to really see you, and I just wanted to make sure that you're well. I'll tell you what, I will tuck you in, and even if you don't sleep, I'll just, just make sure your room is cozy like you used to do for me.
Oh, darling, that's so lovely. Oh, bit of a turnaround, is it? Go ahead and roll either charm or persuade. Haha. Yes. Yes, no need to tuck me in, but I would love it if you would stay with me as I fall asleep. I've had rather a lot of trouble sleeping lately.
Of course. I could read you some poetry, or I could tell you about a book I've been working on.
I have a better idea. So at that point, you get into her room and she's getting ready. I once had a friend tell me that if you have nightmares, you have to talk through them with someone else. And once you talk through them, you release them and you don't have any nightmares anymore. So
okay,
if you don't mind, if it's not bothersome, I would love to. I've had some nightmares, you see. So I would love to tell you about them.
Sure. I will write them down for you to read in the morning so you could laugh and feel gay and about them later.
Well, I don't know if I'll laugh about them, but perhaps writing them down is a good thing to do. Sure, yes, of course.
Go on, dear.
So, of course, they started after Arthur went missing, and I'm in a it's as though I wake up, although I'm still in my dreams, but I feel as though I wake up and I'm in a misty sort of place, and it's very cold, and I can't find my way, but I hear Arthur, and he's saying, he's calling my name, and he sounds rather desperate, and each night, the first night I just heard his voice in the distance, and I couldn't really make it out. And then the next night, I could make out the words. I could hear him, and he was calling my name, and he was saying, help. He seemed to be calling for help, and it said something about he didn't have the power, or he didn't need something about the power. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe stop the power. I'm not sure. I don't even know if that would mean it seems rather pedestrian, honestly. But and then the third night, I saw him. I actually saw him, and he looked very, I don't know, almost see-through, almost like he wasn't really there. It was sort of, and I felt dreadful.
Was that the first time you were able to see him on that third night, or was it the second?
Yes. No, it was the third night. The second night, I only understood the words. But yes, I had this sense of, I don't know, it's dread. It felt dreadful. But yes, so I've been dreading going to sleep, honestly. I don't want to have another dream like this. It just makes me, I feel so terrible. And I know it's just a dream. I know it's just, stress from him being gone, but it feels so real, like he's actually there. I've gone full British, I just realized.
Well, she was British, right? He was Scottish.
No, she's from Pittsburgh.
She's from Pittsburgh.
They're both from Pittsburgh.
The British part of Pittsburgh.
The British part. Well, they're very uppity. So, yes, it feels very real. I know it's a dream, but it feels very real.
Yes, that's understandable. What do you feel like compelled to help, or like are you reaching or searching or looking or going somewhere?
Well, I want to help him. Obviously, he's my husband,
Naturally.
but I'm in a sort of misty nothingness. So, and I don't know what he means. stop the power. I need the power. I don't know what power he's. And also, it's dream logic. Things don't make sense. In the dream, it made sense. And then I wake up and I think back, and there's nothing there. None of it makes sense.
But you don't feel anything other than dread.
Well, I mean, obviously, I feel sad. He is my husband, and he's gone. And but I feel better talking through it. Thank you. I think that was helpful.
I'm glad I could help.
Yes.
Would you like me to leave you? Do you think you can rest now?
Yes, I think so. I'll send for some tea, and yes, thank you.
All right. Good night. Hustle down the stairs, and where is her room in relation to everyone else's quarters?
Oh, she's on the 3rd floor, and y'all are on the 2nd floor.
Okay, I'll stop by my room or to grab the whiskey and see if where is Kilburn? Is he on the 2nd floor as well?
Physically?
Is he staying in the same place?
Well, he's a valet, so he would be living in downstairs.
Right, the service quarters. Okay. I'll grab the whiskey and then go back to the dining room.
Okay. All right, Mimble.
Yes.
You had said you were leaving the dining room. Where are you headed?
Slowly, one stair at a time, back up. I'm looking for Kilburn, but first I'd like to change into something more manageable.
All right. I'll let you go change. And Jennifer in the dining room with Fiona, you see Teresa and Katie kind of bust into the dining room, and they're giggling and saying, "Oh, sorry, didn't know you. Somebody thought it was maybe. We saw the other 2 girls leave. Yeah, we saw them leave and thought you're alone, but you're not alone. She's with that lady."
Yeah.
We found something. But finish your bread pudding. Yeah, maybe she could talk to us later. Yeah, talk to us later. Aye.
Oh, all right. I will find you when we are done with our bread pudding then.
Aye, we will be cleaning the library. Aye, it gets very dusty.
Yes.
So-
I will find you in the library.
Aye, okay, aye, let's go we should get dusters. Not really dusting. Right, we're going to be in the library. Not really dusting. Dusting. We'll be dusting. And they shuffle out, giggling the whole way.
So great.
That was weird.
You told us some very fun and whimsical stories that I have requested more of.
Hi.
Mhm.
Well, I should probably settle in. I just arrived right before dinner and I haven't had time. If you need to go to the library while they're dusting.
All right. I will see you later then.
Well, I'm staying at the house, so if you have any more questions, I honestly love talking about this town and its history. No one really cares about it in Edinburgh, so it's great to, chat a bit about it. But I'll just go settle in.
It has been wonderful speaking with you, and we have found. Thank you for all of your information. It's been very helpful.
Oh, you're welcome. That's been lovely. And I'm sure I'll see you ladies again. She excuses herself. And, Keating quickly takes all the plates that are done.
I will tell Keating. I will say, "Excuse me, Keating. Would you send for the other 2 girls to meet me in the library?"
Oh, yes. I shall try to locate them, of course. Yes.
Thank you.
I believe Miss Mimble is still halfway up the stairs.
That would make sense. Yes. maybe if she's going up, maybe she wants to change into something a little bit more comfortable.
Well, I can't speak for her, ma'am, but I shall let her know that you suggested such, and I shall let you know that I agree. But it's not mine decision to make. Yes, yes, of course. Shall I meet you here?
The library.
The library, of course, obviously.
Thank you.
Yes. And you remember the way to the library. I could, of course, escort you. Show
I
you.
believe I do. I do believe I remember.
Right. Of course, obviously. Yes.
Thank you. And send my compliments to Miss Grant.
Oh, yes, of course, yes. I believe, yes, I shall. Yes. It's very good. She's very good. He leaves. He finds Mimble still struggling up the stairs.
Oh, I feel like Mimble was hustling because she really wanted
okay.
to seek out the valet, or rather his room. And when she reaches just outside the room after she's put on just a more casual skirt and corset get up, she wants to listen at his door.
At Kilburn's door?
Yes.
So she goes all the way down to the staff hall.
That's right.
Okay, all right.
Is there time? Can she?
I don't know that she would have made it up, changed, and made it all the way down.
I think she started hopping up the stairs.
Let's roll a luck roll also for her to actually find Kilburn's door. So go ahead and do a luck roll. Yes! Oh, so successful.
Yes.
So we'll say that she hopped expediently, changed very quickly, and motivated by what can only be true love, she snuck down.
I always say.
Go ahead and also roll a stealth check for me.
This will go well.
I think so.
I was hoping to give her the scotch.
Can I spend 15 luck?
If that's what you want to spend it on, then yes. Okay, I will. Yes. All right. Okay, then you do. You find his door, and we'll get right back to you. So heading up the stairs towards Ms. I forgot everyone's name. Towards Crystal's room, as Keating knows that you were walking her up. He finds you as you're exiting the door. Oh, madam, Miss Jennifer has requested your presence in the library.
Thank you, Keating. And has everyone adjourned from the table?
Yes, everyone has adjourned from the table. Ms. Fiona is settling in her room. I am unsure of where Miss Mimble is. I believe she was to be in her room, but I've not located her. So I shall continue to look for her. Although first I must get tea for the madam.
You know what, Keating, take your time. Mimble is a grown woman who can take care of herself completely.
Yes, I suppose so.
And I will also have Summers hunt for her as well, since I need her to take the whiskey that we got today.
Oh, you got local whiskey. How lovely.
Yes, but keep it on the down low. Or just mum's the word around Miss Grant.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is the
Yes.
down low?
Mum's
Would you like me to store the whiskey in a lower cabinet, or perhaps the cellar? Right.
The word.
Mum's the word. Yes, our little secret. You do not have whiskey.
No, but there will be a snifter of the whiskey I do not have for you.
Oh, lovely. Yes. So he exits, and we find Mimble outside of Kilburn's door. These the downstairs quarters are very much like any downstairs area. They have obviously not as lavish as the upstairs. They have gotten a fresh coat of paint. You know, as you sneak in, you pass the kitchen, and due to pushing your luck, you stealthily pass the kitchen. Go ahead and make an investigate check.
You spot hidden?
Yes, this isn't that other game that I won't mention.
Oh, I see nothing because my sights are of a single vision, tunnel vision.
Actually, I lied. Make an appraise.
Oh, yes. Well, of course, I will look up and down the hallway and...
No, come on.
You are
Come on,
so
I have
you are
90 in appraise and I failed.
that's quite an impressive failure. We're just like you are so distracted. You've got tunnel vision right now. You're just you would, notice things about things, but not today. You just want yeah, it's switch to roll dice. Yeah, so you find Keating's door and you're listening out. What are you hoping to discover here?
I would like to hear him dreaming. Maybe he's a sleep talker. Maybe he'll talk about me.
Okay. So at this point, it's about dinner started at 7. We'll say it's probably about 8:30. So
Sounds like bedtime for Rebecca.
So you kind of hear shuffling inside the room. Nothing crazy. It sort of sounds like someone is walking back and forth. Maybe it grabs a book, and then you kind of hear like a creaking as though someone has sat down on the bed. And then occasionally you hear laughter and voice. It's though he's when you watch a show and you talk back to it, it's like he's doing that, but to a book. So you just keep hearing him say, "Oh, don't go in there. Oh, you."
I'll knock.
Okay, so you're gonna knock.
My stealth was for nothing. Why did I spend 15 points?
Well, I mean, otherwise you wouldn't have made it to his door. You would have been caught on the way. That's what that stealth was for, to see if you made it stealthily.
So we could be alone.
He goes, just a minute. And you hear shuffling, puts the book away.
No
walks over.
need to be presentable. It's just me, Mimble.
Miss Mimble? And then he kind of opens the door, very confused.
Please call
I'm
me
sorry.
Miss Buckworth.
I lean against the door for him.
He takes kind of a step back to give you space. Miss
I
Buckworth.
step inside the door so I can lean across it from the inside.
Why don't you roll charm for me?
We're going hard dice. 94.
Okay, all right.
I feel like I should push it.
This was not meant to be, was it? We'll find out when you
I'm gonna roll
push
it
it. We'll find
digitally.
out when you push.
All right, if you want to push it, I feel like this is the most important role of the game. With seducing Corbin.
Success.
Burly. Okay, so you've pushed it, all right? Well, Miss Buckworth, I wasn't expecting to see you here.
Oh, yes, dinner was amusing, but, well, I felt maybe there was someone here who was a little more cultured. Read any good books lately that funny, something funny in them?
I was just reading actually. Funny. You should mention you
Read it to me.
fan of fan of books.
Indeed, almost as much as gemstones, but mostly just gems. And expensive things.
Oh, I see. So you like expensive things.
Like rare books. One with fine smelling leather boundness.
Roll appraise.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Ready for this. Yes, extreme success. Extreme success.
So you know that in his room he has a shelf of books. There's lots of books. Most of them are pretty simple things that would be available to purchase. A lot of like those thin sort of paperback serial kind of novels that someone of his employment level would be able to purchase. But there is a row at the bottom of leather bound books that you can see the lettering on the side is gold. These are clearly above his station. They he didn't buy these himself, but they look very well taken care of, and they're, sort of in a place of honor, whereas the other ones are just kind of around.
I
And,
see you have very nice leather-bound books right here. My eye was drawn to them, you see.
Yeah, they were gifts from Arthur. He's quite a reader, you see. He loves reading almost as much as he loves golf.
Ah, very close to your man you were, I see.
Well, of course, I've been with him for years, been with the family for years.
So do you have any idea what may have happened to him, or what may have happened to him and Crystal's relationship?
I don't know of anything happening to he and Crystal's relationship. I think their relationship was fine.
Well, there's all sorts of things beneath the surface. One can't always see.
She leans luxuriously against the bookcase.
Mimble, Ms. Buckworth, I hope you don't mind me saying, but
I feel it too.
I was gonna say that I feel like something may have hurt you in your past to make you feel like other people's relationships aren't good.
She immediately goes to his bed or cot or whatever, flops down, and just starts crying. Feelings, you've scarred me.
I'm gonna jump ahead a bit and say that that you spend about maybe 30 minutes where Kilborn is just he's just comforting you, and he's just whispering sweet nothings like, that bastard didn't deserve you.
No, and in the suitcase underneath the bed.
Anyway,
yeah.
we can fast forward.
But yeah, he comforts you. He lets you know that you're worth more.
So no more information from Mr. Kilburn that may help us find Arthur here. Any more tidbits about him?
Is there anything in particular you want to find out? Anything you want to ask him? In between your sobs?
Yes. Had he been acting strangely at all when he went to the golf course?
As I said, he was stressed. He was upset about the renovations being installed, but you don't have to worry about that. You're just, you just focus on finding happiness and finding someone that deserves you.
You, Gilbert, thank you so much. You've helped me in ways you'll never know.
That's mighty kind of you.
Yeah, and I feel great, and I'm gonna head back towards my room or find my friends or wherever they might be.
I'm gonna say you run into Keating on the stairway. You heading up? Oh, Miss Buckwood,
I wasn't doing anything. Who, huh?
Your colleagues are headed to the library.
Indeed, I will go there.
And maybe I start walking down the wrong hallway, and he turns my shoulders and points me down the right one.
Does sound like that's what happened, yeah. It's up, just up. Yes.
All right, I've been there before.
Would you like me to escort you, Mum?
More than anything.
And I offer him his arm.
It is, of course. He takes you to the library. So Jennifer arrives at the library first. Arrives to see it looks a bit different in the dark. There are a few lit candles and little lanterns, but otherwise it's nice, it's dark, it's romantic. And there's two little girls, and they are Katie and Teresa are standing kind of over in front of one of the shelves, and like, "You never read it, Katie. Of course I've never read it. Oh, I've read it. I've read all. No, you haven't, Katie. You haven't read any of that. You can't even read. I could read. No, you cannot." So they're just over arguing. Oh, and they turn around abruptly. "Oh, you came. Okay, do you have it, Teresa? I have it, Katie. Do you have the other one? I have it." So they come over, and they're sort of like, they walk over to you a little bit like Siamese twins. Like there's one holding out her right arm, and the other one, Teresa's holding out her left arm. And they each of them have a piece of paper in their hand.
What is this?
We found it. Aye, we did. We found it. There was a secret drawer, and shh, don't tell her about the drawer. We found it sitting out in the open.
Where was the secret drawer?
Dang it, Teresa! I was in Mr. McMillan's desk. We found it. And so they hand you two what look to be blueprints, which I will let you look at in just a second when I figure out how. But yeah, so they basically they look like two different blueprints of Thistledown golf course. So Thistledown Golf Club. One of them says Thistledown Golf Plan 1903. There's changes, which should be in all of your journals now. And the other one doesn't have a date on it, but looks definitely newer. Definitely a more recent thing. So go. Do you all see that now?
Yes.
Sure do.
So we got the 1903 plans. And then some new plans.
Although just Jennifer is in the library with these gals right now, yes?
Yeah, you're meeting her there,
all
yes?
good.
Yes. Yeah, so just Jennifer is there right now. But at about that time, Edie comes in. Oh, hello.
No, Edie, I can't hear you, darling. I need you to speak up.
Hello, girls. How are you?
Oh, we're doing grand. Aye, grand. We found something.
You did know.
Aye, we gave it to Miss Jennifer.
Yeah, come over here, Edie. Come take a look at this. It's very good.
Okay.
Apparently, they're in a secret drawer.
What are the major changes? Why?
Didn't go telling everyone about the secret drawer. Aye, well, you did, Teresa. You told everyone about it. No, I didn't. I just told Jennifer.
Oh, don't worry. Edie's very good at keeping secrets.
It's true. Ask me about my next book.
Do you write books?
Nope.
Oh.
I'm teasing you, girls. I do, but I will keep your secrets.
Thank you kindly.
External access.
I think these are maps of the golf club. Aye, but I there's two of them. That's a bit odd. Oh, that is.
Are they not the same? Hang on.
I can't seem to open the new ones for some reason. I can look at the old ones, but not the new ones.
Oh,
I see. It looks like there's some major changes in the basement. The basement had a storage, coal pit, furnace, and boiler room, external access, electricity, telephone, wild cellar. The new ones. No, wait, that's the old ones.
Are you not seeing the new ones now?
I see them. They're good.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was asking Erica.
They're not opening for me for some reason.
That's weird. All right, which tab are you trying to open them on?
I clicked over to journal, and I'm clicking in handouts, and it's just not opening.
It's probably already open behind your character sheet.
I have my character sheet popped out in a different window.
It's okay. Edie gave you the lowdown.
That's okay. I can see the old ones.
There's a completely different shape to the basement.
Interesting.
Like, I can't quite read the dimensions from here, but it looks like they've completely, like where the coal pit and the storage was is completely empty. There's nothing there.
And Erica in chat, Becca has dropped the new one, if that's easier for you.
Thank you. Yes, I will.
And we'll say at about this time, Mimble enters.
Oh, you'll never believe. I've been through so much, ladies.
I want to come over onto a desk and just like flop face down against it.
What's happened to her? I didn't ken. Are you okay, Miss Mimble? Are you okay?
I've never felt better.
Oh,
Mimble.
I'm a new woman.
What happened?
Oh, just letting go of things I didn't need to hold on to any longer. It was Kilburn, really, who set me free.
Oh.
Yes, I'm over Billings completely.
Oh.
Oh, not like that.
Oh.
Ladies, no, please. Anyway, what did I miss? Ooh, those look expensive.
Can I appraise the worth of the blueprints?
Sure. Go ahead and roll appraise.
Hard success. Told you
Okay.
I'd appraise everything.
I mean, you might as well. Yeah. So, you know that the plans that say 1903 are in fact from 1903.
Ooh.
The new ones are they're done really well. They're not, these were professionally done by, we'll say that you recognize the original ones you'll notice are made by Alistair McKinsey. That is the gentleman who these are his original blueprints that he created when building the golf course, whereas the new ones are done by Harold Clements. And you know that he is a reputable builder. These aren't just fudged prints. He would have gone in and measured all of this and double checked everything. And yeah.
Oh my, it seems that a portion of the basement has fallen in? How strange. Jennifer, Edith, did you see this?
I did. It's very curious.
Well, if anything is untoward in this clubhouse, I would think
I'm also going to say, this isn't really necessarily appraisal, but you did so well in appraisal. I'm going to say that you know that at this time it would be uncommon to just cut those rooms out, especially out of basement, because the first floor would then fall in.
Whoa. Oh my, this is most unusual. I think it's full of bodies. That's what I think.
I am very curious to go look down in that basement.
Oh, I don't
as
know if
well.
I am, actually. It could be quite terrifying.
So Katie and Teresa get a bit like, well, we should probably go. Hi, we should let you do whatever unseedy things you're doing.
Katie.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ladies, we're up to nothing at all. Thank you for bringing us this information. I assume.
Hi, you're welcome. We thought you'd be the right people to bring it to. I thought that you didn't want to bring. No, that's not true, Teresa. Shut up. Sorry.
Katie, Teresa, have you found any old books that belong to the family anywhere while you were not?
How do you mean? They own all these books and they're all pretty old.
Just anything that that Arthur would have been kept separate or more treasured or sacred.
Oh, I've seen some of those.
You have?
Why, yes. Kilburn has a special collection gifted from Arthur himself.
Oh, they read a lot. They do. They like reading. Sometimes Kilburn will read me the stories because I can read. I told you I can read. Shut up, Teresa.
He reads to you?
Oh, I didn't know how to read. So he read me things like The Great Gatsby. Oh, I love The Great Gatsby. He's got all kinds of storybooks.
Oh my, that's an excellent one.
Oh, no, most of them are from England or America, so they now be about Dundee or the Hellhounds. Especially because Hellhounds aren't real, Teresa. Shut up, Katie, they are. I've seen it.
It might be real.
Teresa looks.
I mean, I haven't seen anything about the Hellhound specifically, but
I told you,
I wouldn't
Katie.
discount it.
Ladies, would you be interested in perhaps taking on a mission?
What sort of mission?
Well, we're attempting to find Arthur, are we not? And perhaps what you could do for us is look upon the old wood overnight and perhaps collect evidence whether or not the hellhounds do in fact exist.
You want us to go to the Crowwood at night?
Yes.
Oh, that's very dangerous. We couldn't go to the Crowwood at night.
Oh, well.
But maybe Jimmy. Oh, I don't want to ask Jimmy, but he would do it for you, Therese. Oh, no, not Jimmy. Don't make Jimmy do that. Oh, but he would. Jimmy is sweet on Katie, he is. And so I think he would go to the wood at night and look for a hellhound. Oh, Teresa, that's terrible. You can't make Jimmy do that. I thought you said they didn't exist, Katie. But it's cold.
Well, he could bring, a lantern and perhaps a fur or a wool blanket. Yes, doesn't it sound fun for Jimmy?
Yes, Katie, I think that's a good idea. You could test his love. Oh, I could test his love. Okay. I'll ask Jimmy to go wait in the woods. And then I'll know if he loves me or not. Aye, it's a test. It's a love test.
Oh, yes, you must test their love. For me, it's how long they'll listen to you cry.
Oh, aye, that's a good one too. That's a good test. I cry a lot with boys, I do. But just to
Her
make
face
sure
is all puffy and she's still blotting her eyes.
but just to make sure they're listening. Aye, so we'll talk to Jimmy, but we should go. It's getting late.
Oh my, look at the time.
Yeah, it's about 9 o'clock-ish.
Girls, if you could keep an eye, do you know who keeps an eye on Miss Crystal when she sleeps?
Oh, what do you mean keeps an eye on her? Like watches her?
if she calls out in the night for milk or Valium.
Well, if she rings her bell, then anyone who's watching would answer it. But no one watches her sleep. That's a bit weird. That is a bit weird.
No. But keeps watch to listen out for anything she may need.
If she needs anything, she just rings the bell.
Okay, thank you.
Edie, do you want them to perhaps watch her sleep?
Well, not watch her sleep, but just keep posting. Because she sleepwalks. She's stressed and in grief, and I just hate for her to be alone.
I could maybe listen to see if she's having any nightmares tonight.
Oh, is she not well? I mean, if she's not well, oh no, I wouldn't have liked that. We do like Miss Mellon quite a bit. We do. She gives us the perfect amount of work for just the right amount of money. No more, no less.
That's all one can ask for. I often ask for way too much money, more than I deserve. But you see my clientele. Well, never mind. I'll tell you about it later.
We would never ask for more than we deserve. We are paid exactly the right amount. No more than we deserve. We work exactly enough for the money we make. Aye, we do.
Is that why you snoop?
I'll pay you.
We didn't snoop. We keep an eye on things for the miss and the mister.
Right.
So if she's not feeling well, if you're worried for her, you're her friend, you know. Well, we'll keep an eye. Aye, we will.
And I'll press like £5 in each of their hands as a tip.
They're shocked. They're like, they can't speak. They're just staring at their hands. You've blown their little Scottish minds.
Right. That's the thing again, isn't it? But just between us, dears. Besides, in case there's a wedding on the horizon, consider it a wedding present for both of you.
I don't know what to do with this. Everyone will think we stole it. I don't know.
I'll let Keating know, but we'll keep it just between us.
So they kind of like shove it in their little purses, little pockets in their apron, we'll say, and kind of leave the room very, very, very excited. You've just given them a lot of money. Like that's a lot of money. Like your train ticket was like 6 shillings, and you just gave them like £5. Like their minds are blown.
Edie, you've taken this town by storm.
Right. So it's getting rather late. So What are we going to do, ladies? Are we going to the golf course? Are we staying for the evening? What is the thought?
I posed the question to my friends.
I mean,
I'm very anxious to get to the golf course, but if we think we should keep an eye on the nightmares before we go.
I'm beyond curious to see what used to be in this basement and is no longer.
me too. I think Crystal will have help with the girls if she wakes up, and I think they'll be okay, and we'll get a report in the morning. I think everything's settled for us to go tonight. Should we arouse Fiona? Rouse Fiona?
Oh my. Well, we'll leave that to
Yes,
you,
I
Edie.
think you should do one on both of those things.
Right. Okay. She's still like carrying this whiskey around, and so she'll like go down to Fiona's room and knock at the door.
Actually, we're gonna go ahead and leave that for after break. We'll see how well you arouse Fiona. When we get back in 10 minutes. Thank you all so much for watching our adventure. We'll be back in 10 minutes to find out the conclusion of the 19th hole. Ooh.
Hello, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in for the Calyx. Thank you for watching our VOD as well. And all of you are wonderful souls that can become even more wonderful if you get yourself some Chaosium products. You didn't know where I was going with that because I didn't either. But if you waddle your way, just like Mimble Buckworth when she's wearing too tight of a dress, waddle your way on over to chaosium.com. Use our beautiful discount code Calyx2021. You can get 10% off all of their wonderful products like Mansions of Madness Volume 1, from which many of the scenarios you've seen on this program, and this one as well. The 19th hole. Tonight, of course, as you already know, because you're halfway through, unless you're just joining us now on Twitch, Ash Minnick is our keeper of arcane lore, and I will now pass it back to her.
Hello. Did your room get more purple? Or is that just, am I just not?
It did. I closed the sunlight curtain because the sun was at such an angle that it would be too bright.
I like it. I like it. I'm more into it now.
Good. Yes.
Yeah. So welcome back to 19th, the 19th hole, which and before the break we learned was a misnomer, as golf courses only have 18 holes.
And it never occurred to any of us that was strange until an NPC pointed it out.
I didn't realize you guys didn't know that until it doesn't matter. Anyway, all right. So when we last left our adventurers, our investigators, if you will, they had finished up dinner. They had found out some fun information. They had gotten 2 different blueprints via Katie and Teresa, who had passed off the blueprints to them, and they discovered that there's some sort of discrepancy between the 2 blueprints of Thistledown Golf Course. One of the older blueprint has extra rooms that the newer blueprint does not have. So our investigators have tasked various NPCs to look into the other things they were interested in, and they seem eager to check out the golf course. But first, Edie is going to try to persuade Ms. Fiona to join them with some whiskey. So, Edie, you approach. Do you know where Fiona's? Roll a luck roll for me. Also, you're muted, just so you know. Still muted. There we go.
I almost turned off my camera by mistake. All right. So luck is what it will take. It's
50-50. It's a 50-50 roll.
Where is it?
Luck is in the top right corner with your other big scores.
Ah, thank you. There it is.
Big scores.
Big scores.
What do we get?
Woohoo!
Squeaked by 34 on 37.
Oh, all right. Oh my gosh, you guys. Someone just delivered whiskey and bacon to me. So that's awesome. And bacon.
Oh my gosh, that's almost as good as
bacon.
Twice roasted duck.
It's very crinkly. Great. Yes. So you being very interested, you may have noticed where Fiona was headed when you went up to escort Edie to her room. So you know exactly where her room is. And you knock on the door. Yes, I just assumed.
Yes.
So sorry.
Yes. No. I will practice like some deep breathing and make sure that my voice doesn't do anything weird, and then practice saying words and knock on the door.
Just a minute. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Okay, so she opens the door. She's wearing a robe. She's clearly ready for bed, as it is close to 9 o'clock. I think it's after 9 o'clock at this point. Oh, Edie, it's so lovely to see you. Can I help you?
She's like just holds out like this.
Oh, is that whiskey?
The fancy bottle she bought, and just
is that
tries not to stare.
Glenfiddich?
Yeah. That's whiskey. Whiskey.
Edie.
I'm so sorry. Yes.
I'm just surprised and impressed. happily surprised at this. This is lovely. Have you just come to show it off?
I didn't realize that you were preparing for your evening already. I was going to see if you wanted to have a drink with me. We're going to go continue the historical research, take some notes and sketches, and explore the old building because I love history.
I love history as well. It's 9:00, so I was just it's rather late. All right. Hold on 1 second. Let's see if she wants to join. We'll leave it to fate. Cooking so many things.
She could get so much history.
So much history.
All right.
All the history.
Can you give me a minute? I just need to change. And I'll be right down. We're going to check out the golf course. How exciting.
Yeah. Can I just illustrate that there's a moment of Edie not taking the clue that she should leave when that's said? Oh, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's change. You need to change. Right. Change. I will let you change away from me. I will be standing here.
I'll meet in the foyer.
She shuts the door and walks away.
All right.
Is that how you say that word?
Which word?
I thought it was foyer.
It is in France for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if in Scotland they'd say foyer. I'll meet you in the foyer. It is very fun though. So that's what I'm doing moving forward.
I don't ken what they say.
I don't ken what they say, but I add in the foyer. Okay, great. So do you all meet in the foyer?
Yep.
Great. A couple.
Yeah, I think we were waiting there. We went, or Jennifer and I probably just grabbed our flashlights and our packs.
Makes sense. So a couple of minutes later, Fiona comes down the stairs, and she's dressed again in another tweed suit, but this one's slightly different. It's a bit more green, and she's got a coat over her arm. Are you all bringing coats?
Oh, yes. I've also brought my bread pudding, and it was brought up to my room. I haven't had a chance to enjoy it, so I'll just bring it to the 19th hole, as they say, which JB just pointed out to me in chat, is the clubhouse.
It's very common for golfers to refer to the clubhouse as the 19th hole. It's a bit of a joke.
Knew.
Which hole are you at? I'm at the 19th hole. Having a drink, bit of a drink. Anyway, So, and then a very sort of non-plus Summers, even though he's only been with you for a short time, is used to your comings and goings. And for whatever reason, leaving the house at 9 p.m. to go to a golf course, an abandoned golf course, is totally fine. Should I drive, or are you having a late this evening?
Driving would be excellent. And yes, please, drive.
Right, yes, and you all can share the scotch on the way.
Sounds good. I kept a flask of it with me.
Well, I must say tonight was my first night ever having scotch, but it does seem to suit me. I've only cried once.
Crying is good.
That's lovely, Mimble.
You cry, Summer.
When I think of Mother Russia, I cry.
We try not to talk about it.
Mother Russia is speech.
We try not to talk about it.
All right, cool. So he drives. Let's see how well he does. It's an easy drive. I'm just rolling again to see if he teaches you anything along the way. This does not affect.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, dang it. I hit it twice, but it was successful both times. The first time, way successful. So yeah, along the way, Edie, you perhaps in a move to impress your maybe lady friend, speak with Summers about driving and impart your knowledge, and you actually he's able to pick up on some stuff and show you some things, and you learn even more about driving.
Excellent.
Okay, so you pull up to the golf course. As I've said before, you guys have sort of driven on the outside, but now you're driving up the driveway, just like Crow Hall. It has a weirdly long driveway leading up.
Could I perhaps this isn't a skill of Mimble's, but as we're driving up, I kind of want to take a an assessment of, well, I was gonna say check the occult, but you know what? Mimble would appraise.
What is she appraising?
Just the golf course overall, the clubhouse overall.
I would like to take stock of exactly what state of disrepair this thistle down might be in.
Okay, so go ahead and roll appraise, and we'll great. Yeah, I mean, of course you're successful. So the driveway, the rather long driveway, the grounds are very unkept. No one has tended them in years. There was perhaps no one has gardened them in years. As Fiona imparted to you, the military did take over this golf course in around 1916, and so stuff was cleared, but nothing's been replaced. So as you get to the club itself, however, the club, you get to these rusted gates, and I'm going to hold on to that appraise for this whole thing. So you're going to be learning things throughout as you're praising as you're going.
Always judging with these eyes.
Yeah, very much. So you get to the front of the clubhouse. The gates are pretty rusty, and they are locked with a chain and a bolt. Y'all, however, do have the keys, so you very easily unlock this gate. It's really nothing to roll there. Roll for pulling out key.
I was going to say,
Summers, pedal to the metal, through the gate. Right, no, key, yes, key.
I mean, if you would like to yell that, you can. And we'll roll
as
to see
he
if
slows down. I hope
he just
doesn't
looks
listen.
at you. Or key? We use key?
Different idea, but I guess equally good.
Okay. So you open the gate easily and you pull in. You do notice that Arthur's car is still parked in front of the golf club. An appraisal of the building will tell you that the building itself is actually in pretty good shape. What you can see in through the windows, it is dark at this point, so there's not really a lot you can see in. But it looks like the building and the interior are actually pretty far along in the renovation itself. It's just the grounds they're just falling away. In the yard in front of the clubhouse, there's lumber and like building materials and like concrete and old appliances sort of dumped there. They clearly closed this down in the middle of construction. There was stuff going on. There's materials everywhere. Summers parks the car, and then one by one, opens all of the doors to let you all out.
I'm sure I noticed the quality of Arthur's car is probably pretty nice, eh?
It is very nice, yeah.
Oh my.
I want to try the door to Arthur's car and see if it's unlocked. Oh, is that what you were going to do, Jennifer?
I was going to say that we should take a little look inside of the car.
Oh, yes. I'll follow Jennifer's lead.
Yeah, the car is locked. There's really nothing interesting going on there, nothing out of place per se. It does look like it's got the dust of 3 days time, as a pirate would say. But yeah, it is a very nice car, not one that you would just leave around. But yeah, nothing out of place. The keys are not in the car. There's really nothing in the car. There's no like suitcases or anything. He wasn't going on a trip. It's just this car.
Just Fiona, did you know Arthur?
Oh, we spent a lot of time talking just about the club in general, and when he was making his renovations, it was very important to keep the spirit of the club. He's a big fan of the architect, so he was trying to uninteresting things, but we chatted a lot.
No, I'm not interesting at all. I managed to find it in an old book, some of the blueprints of the original plan. Would you like to see?
Oh, aye, sure, that'd be lovely.
Okay, and so like kind of like start walking, like just to like give a little space, so like so you guys can like kind of ransack his car, and that so that wouldn't seem suspicious or weird. But then like just show her like just the old blueprints. but
I
not
will
the
say
new
that also,
ones.
just so you'll know, Crystal, it probably has imparted to Fiona that y'all are helping to find her husband. So
Oh, okay.
I don't know that she would find you researching things necessarily weird or out of place, but yeah.
I'll
Okay.
just show her the old map. Like,
Oh, that's a bit weird.
what is
The basement rooms,
the
right?
basement?
Oh, they're not. I mean, they're not there on the new one.
He replaced them entirely.
No, I'm just looking at the plans you just handed. You did hand her the plans, yes?
Yeah, just the old ones though, just to see if she had any new
Oh,
knowledge.
sorry.
Yeah, it's
I
okay.
thought you handed her both. Oh, that's neat.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing to do from her.
All right.
Before
so
the
I'm gonna say-
hellhounds come and get us, perhaps we should check in the basement. Just a joke. No hellhounds, only joke.
Well, I think we've got to go through the first floor to find the basement, right?
Yes, I wonder, do we need those keys?
Probably.
Just open.
Okay, so you go in the front.
I'm unafraid I'll lead the way. I believe I have a torch or a lantern of some kind if I was grabbing preparations from the house.
Good plan.
Yes. We will say that you definitely grab that as it is dark. Got you a torch. So if you look at the maps that I have given you, both the 1903 ones and the newer ones, where you are at right now is on the first floor, the left side of the house or the clubhouse, or the west side, where there's a little stairwell up to the front doors. Does everybody see that? And then I don't know if you want to pull up that image for the audience. It's a bit small, but so there's sort of great big wood double doors. Mimble, you would recognize these as pretty expensive doors.
Ooh, fine taste.
As you enter the entrance foyer, the walls have been recently repainted. They're kind of a pale green. It's not necessarily lavish or fashionable, but it's nice. And for a golf club, it is, pretty standard for the day. It's good. The floors look to be original floors. Like they're very that kind of pale gray color. They've not been refinished yet. In fact, the new boards that replace some of the old ones, those stick out very much as more of a new wood color, like a kind of a yellow pine color. So yeah, it's hadn't gotten to that step yet, but the walls are repainted. There are windows along to your right along the south wall. And to your left, there are stairs going up and some windows there. There's like 4 windows. They're circular. And there is a large reception desk, like a wood reception desk that's about 4 feet high that goes the entirety of the wall on the north. So it just goes across there.
Hello, is anyone here? Ghosts?
You don't hear anything. You also see on the ground there is a toolbox, like a sort of an abandoned toolbox. It's open. There's a hammer, screwdriver, sort of normal tools. It's just sitting there. And then 3 round rolls of green carpeting.
Can I pick up the hammer?
Yes.
Just in case.
Oh, in case we find a hellhound.
Hellhound? Nairn, if he's had a bit too much to drink.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't pop out of anything. It'd be a very different story.
Jennifer's gonna grab a screwdriver.
Okay, amazing. So you've got a screwdriver and a hammer.
Is there any rope?
Bottle of whiskey.
And a bottle of whiskey, a flask of whiskey.
Flask whiskey.
So I'm gonna have you all roll.
Rope.
Something
Is there any
that's
rope?
No. What's something that's not quite spot hidden? That seems so. Oh well. Roll spot hidden.
There's a lot of spot hidden in this game.
There is. All right, so that went by so quickly.
Oh, yes.
So
We also
Mimble and Edie, you notice the windows to the south and the two lower windows on the staircase to your left have light coming through them,
How odd.
as though it were sunny
window.
outside.
As though it was sunny?
Mm-hmm.
Like full on, it just looks like sunshine?
Yeah.
And when I look out over the land that would be outside that window, it just looks like day?
Are you exiting out to look at the outside?
Oh, well, perhaps that would. Is anyone else seeing this?
Being what?
The window looks. There's light outside the window.
And Jennifer, after they point it out, you see it as well.
Oh, wow. Ooh. Actually,
It is not 10 in the evening by now, isn't it?
yes. Can Jennifer, is this, these are the outside windows, right? On the south?
These are, so you're inside right now, but they are the windows that would go to the outside. Yes.
Jennifer's gonna just pop out the door really quick and take a look, like lean around the building.
Outside, it's nighttime. It's completely dark. There's nothing on that side of the clubhouse there's no lights or anything.
What did you see out there?
There is no light outside.
Can I try
There's
and
no
open
reason.
the window?
There isn't a handle on these windows. They're all sealed.
I want to take the hammer and smash it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll brawl. It could go funny.
Failure. Big one.
Okay. Oh my god, that is a big failure.
Well, it's not a crit fail.
Yeah. Okay, so you try to. Why don't you describe to me how that doesn't work?
I swing the hammer backwards behind my head, and as it comes forward, there's nothing in my hand. It's fallen behind me.
Got a little loose there. Do you need to try it again?
Oh, it's a bit. Oh, I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
Would you like me to try, darling?
Certainly, yes. Do you think we should? I second guessed myself. I thought maybe we shouldn't destroy it. But then, where is Arthur? What will he care? Why is there sunshine out this window at night?
I don't know. I'm very keen on smashing this, though, to try and find out.
Thank you for the raid, the mod raid.
Yay!
Welcome,
Thank
Raiders.
you.
So I'll take the hammer and the screwdriver and try to use it as like a.
Oh, great idea. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll brawl real quick to see if you can hit it hard enough to break the window, but give yourself a bonus of 10 points.
How do I list? Or is that, do I just roll and
A
then
bonus
subtract?
die is also an option. Or you can just.
Great, you got it. Okay. So yeah, the glass shatters, and there's still a few pieces left. Where there is no more glass is just night. And I'm gonna have you all roll for sanity.
I get it. Yes, no, I get it. It's an illusion in the glass. It's just an illusion of the glass. Oh, yes. Very fine. Very fine material this is.
Can I hold up a piece of the glass that fell and try and look through that?
Yeah, there's nothing. It's just glass now.
Yes, no, the illusion slips out of it when it's broken. I understand. Yes, it all makes sense.
And is there glass in the window still that is still looking like lights coming through?
We are all very sane.
Yeah, you all have no problem with this
Three hard
whatsoever.
successes. Oh
If I look into the window, do I see like just the same landscape at the same time, like it would look today? Or
No,
would there be any?
no. If you look into not only the pieces of the broken window, but the other windows on the south wall, you see like it's misty and it's bright. It is sort of a landscape. It does not match what it does not matches. It does not match what should be outside that window. But it is though you're looking into a landscape in another place. Go ahead and roll me spot hidden.
Can we ask Fiona to roll for history?
I want to make that.
It would be closer to an occult roll. Are you asking
just if she
if
recognizes the landscape like from a book somewhere?
Oh yeah, I mean, so I also need to roll for sanity for Fiona. Doop a doop a doop.
I was going to ask if it looks like the dream that was described to me.
Okay. She failed. So she's just a bit weirded out. Just a bit. It's a bit like, kind of leans back a little. No,
it's fine, Fiona. Look at me. It's a trick. It's very expensive illusion glass.
I don't think that's. I don't know what that is.
Yes, neither do I, but I'm sure it exists.
Edie, roll me a spot hidden while you're looking in one of the other windows.
Another one?
What? I'm sorry, I didn't see your first one.
No worries. I failed,
you failed. Never mind. Okay, then you failed.
Right.
No, the place that it is misty, but the dream that Crystal described, she didn't necessarily speak about a landscape. She just said it was a sort of a misty nothingness. This seems to have a physical form with like hills, etc., but it's very difficult to make it out.
Oh, my. Ladies, I feel a bit uncomfortable looking around. Perhaps we should investigate a different floor. Or this one. I don't know. Which way would you like to go?
It's the 19th. Let's continue down the foyer. I would like to see if we go into the hall or the golf shop if we still see more windows showing daylight outside.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're interested. And I'll look over to Fiona.
Fiona just kind of gets closer to you and it's like, wherever you want to go, that's weird, but that's fine.
She'll smile and hold out her arm. Just stay close. You hold this old map and I'll hold the new one and we can keep talking and comparing notes about history.
If you get scared, just hold on to me.
I feel like I should mention we might see more. But I don't know for sure. Just try and prepare yourselves. I don't know.
Are you alright?
Who are you talking to?
Jennifer.
Okay.
I'm not. I just want us to be prepared in case anything. It's weird. Weirder than this and scarier than this.
Well, perhaps we should split up. That feels safe.
No.
Right,
That seems like a terrible idea.
All right, then, Edie, you lead the way towards that golf shop.
Fiona's going to ask for some whiskey. Can I have your flask with just a little...
Yeah.
wee nip? Perhaps we'll just
Sounds
take a
good,
wee nip of courage.
Well, if you insist. This might be even better than sherry.
Let's join you in that.
All right, so you walk forward into the hall. It is a small room, 12 by 10. There are some pieces of furniture in it. It is painted the same pale green, and there's a chandelier hanging. Beyond that, there's another door if you were to keep going straight in front of you, and then opening to your left into another hall.
Do I hear anything or see any other lights?
Not at this time.
Okay, I'll just close the door and then turn back around. Nope, nothing.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna peek into the door of the golf shop.
Okay, so So hold on one second. So Edie, you walked into the hall and then came back out and shut the door.
I figured I'd just like open it up, look around, see if there's any like lights or anything, and go like listen, look, no lights, no sounds, and then just like shrug and kind of close the door.
Okay. And then Mimble, you kind of push past her and then go to the golf shop.
Oh, pardon me. Yes.
Yes, I do.
Or should we follow her? Or I didn't
follow
think
her.
any of us should be alone.
Yeah, Mimble, do you want us to go with you? Where
Oh,
are you
sure.
going?
Should we all hold hands?
Nimble,
Okay.
darling, did you want your hammer back?
I do.
Fiona grabs Edie's hand as soon as it's suggested.
Oh.
I'm just scared. I hope that's okay.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Hold on as tight as you'd like to. It just like kind of loosens their tie.
Okay, cool. So y'all go into the golf shop. Golf shop. Golf shop. I'm
I'll
gonna
lead the
tell
way.
you about
I'll hold
the
Jennifer's
golf
hand,
shop.
and if Jennifer wants to hold Edie's hand, and Edie holds Fiona's hand, and Fiona holds Ghost hand.
All right, so you go into the golf shop and it's sort of an empty room. It's again same pale green painting, same unfinished original floors. There aren't any real light fixtures. There's a wire that hangs from the ceiling where there should be a light fixture. There is light coming in from the windows, but it's it's clearly like moonlight as you are just a week away from the full moon, so it's a bit bright out. And this particular area of Scotland, especially in 1928, doesn't have a lot of light pollution, so the moon is very bright. But other than that, there's not a lot of light in the room. There is an ornate desk in the southeast corner, and there's just a bunch of like cardboard boxes, and it's got like merch, basically, golf hats, golf shirts, books on golf, things of that nature, even some golf shoes, but nothing, particularly out of place. This is the golf shop, but it just kind of looks like they had just started to get stuff in, hadn't really inventoried it yet.
Nimble will release the daisy chain and search the desk.
Okay. As you're searching the desk, you guys kind of hear a light scratching. Like sort of the sound a squirrel might make on a roof, just like a light scratching. Okay, so you are searching the desk. Are you looking for anything in particular? It is a very ornate desk. There's some drawers. There's, as I said, boxes and papers on top. Are you searching the drawers or are you searching the boxes?
The drawers.
Okay, and then Edie and Jennifer, are y'all doing anything in the room?
Keep watch with my screwdriver.
No.
Okay. All right. All right. So you're searching the drawers, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So as you're pulling out the drawers, there's things like paper, like little golf pencils. There's pads of paper, mostly office supplies. And then all of a sudden, the scratching gets louder, and you guys audibly hear it from the northeast corner. So that's sort of the farthest corner from the entrance. Do you continue searching the desk?
I pause and bring what is that scratching noise? It's a bit loud and late for squirrels, isn't it?
Do we hear it upstairs to the northeast, or do we hear it in the room to the northeast?
It sounds like it's coming from in the room. It sounds like it's coming. It's hard to tell right now, but it doesn't sound like it's coming from above. And then it gets louder.
Does it sound like it's coming from?
This time you hear it. It sounds like it's coming from the floor in the northeast corner. And then it gets louder. And it's not stopping in between now. It's getting louder and louder
Fiona?
and louder
Fiona,
and louder.
Get
I'm
it,
gonna
Fiona.
grab Mimble and run to the opposite end of wherever that sound is coming from. Mimble, come with me.
I
It's
am
getting
grabbed.
Hold
louder.
out my hand, not grab you, but hold
and
out my hand.
louder.
Not
The
grab you.
scratching at this point is so loud that you may want to cover your ears. Like, it is deafening, this scratching, and it's just constant. And with every scratch, it's getting louder and louder and louder, and then it stops.
And it was coming from below us.
It's coming from the floor in the northeast corner. But as it got louder, it was like it was filling the entire room. and it just stops. And there's
When it
nothing.
stops, Mimble is going to run to the northeast corner, take her hammer, and smash into the floor. Or boxes if they're in the way.
Okay. Yeah, no, there's just...
And maybe make eye contact with Jennifer of like telegraphing what she's about to do.
Jennifer runs over with you.
Yeah.
Just shoving boxes out of the way.
Yeah, the northeast corner is in fact open. There's no boxes on top of it, so you can just smash right into the floorboard. Why don't you go ahead and roll brawl for me again?
I keep smashing at the risk of my own bodily self, and I'd like to push.
Okay.
Yeah. Even worse.
Okay, so you the hammer actually bounces back and hits you. Go ahead and take a point of damage in your left hand.
Ooh.
Jennifer, roll spot hidden.
Aha!
Oh, snap, a 2.
So where the noise came from, there is an X scratched into the board. It doesn't look new though. Like there's dust on it. That X is probably actually really old. It's almost, the wood underneath is the same color as the board, so it's been there for years. You also see some nails. Luckily, where Mimble has hammered has actually the nails that were kind of like dug into the wood. She's chipped away some wood, and now it's revealed. And so if you wanted to, you could pry those up with the back end of the hammer.
Mimble, let's pry these up. There's something under here. There's an X. Do you see that?
Yes. My hand is injured, so here's my hammer.
I'll trade you. I give her the screwdriver and I take the hammer.
I'll hold the torch.
And pose menacingly with the screwdriver.
Yeah, so just after a couple of minutes, you're able to pry those nails up, no problem. There's nothing under there. You can kind of see floorboards, but there's nothing abnormal under that spot.
Why would there be an X here? X marks the spot, but there's nothing in the spot.
Oh, but this was the spot. We heard the noise. There's an X here.
I feel that we need to keep exploring this clubhouse and then perhaps get out of here as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
You want to leave now?
Well, and maybe there's nothing here at all, and maybe it's just apparitions, and maybe there's some sort of magician that's... I don't know what's happening here, Edie, but that was strange, was it not?
It was very strange. Let's see. Just below the golf shop is a kitchen. Maybe it was a rat.
Is that good news or bad news? Rats?
That didn't sound like a rat. I don't know.
Oh, I need everyone to roll sanity.
Oh.
It's like, I'm sure there's a perfectly logical explanation for this.
For sure.
Oh, extremely successful. I deny.
All right, great. And then
Oh, Edie failed.
I'm not okay.
I also got an extreme success. So with our extreme successes, Edie, if you're open, I think we can probably talk you down.
Okay.
So
you're right. It's the rats, and rats are perfectly fine. They're just little woodland creatures. It's only strange when they're...
and even if it's
a bunch of them.
And even if it's neither rats, we'll be here. We're all together, and it'll be fine.
Yes. How about we all hold hands as we walk one step at a time and say, perhaps we chant something. Lions, rats, and golf shops. Oh my! Lions, rats, and golf shops. Lions, rats, and golf shops.
Should we keep exploring a new room?
Or do we want to go to a different floor entirely?
Yeah, there's the changing areas down the Great Hall if we look at the map, but I'm curious about checking out one of these floors we heard scratching from above and below. So
Yeah.
We could do a quick. We can also do a quick peek inside of the rooms to see if there's anything. We hear anything.
Let's see.
But I don't know if we need to thoroughly investigate every single room that we come across.
No. I mean, we could look into the kitchen, which is, I'm sorry, not below us, but above us. But below us was the broiler room.
Either way, I think we should just get out of this room.
Yeah. Downstairs or up?
I'm sure the other rooms are perfectly fine.
Let's try upstairs. Yes, the kitchen. That sounds delightful. I'd like to prove that it was a rat.
Okay. All right.
But the noise was coming from below.
Yeah.
Then we'll go down.
Let's go down.
All right. To the
Okay.
broiler
The
room.
NPC says that's a great idea.
I will share my notes of like the past versus the future plans with Fiona now. Does this make sense to you? And we'll discuss that on the way down.
Right. No, the rooms are different. That's weird.
oh, we have to go through the Great Hall to get to the stairs down.
Mhm.
Ah.
All right. So we're headed through the hall and then into the Great Hall. Is that?
Or we can go back out the way we came, or can we?
I mean, you.
Looks like those are only stairs up from
Yeah.
the way we came.
Yeah, those stairs
Mhm.
go up, and you would have known that from when you were in the foyer.
Yeah. Down the Great Hall.
All right. So in the Great Hall, again, same sort of walls and floorboards. There are doors on either side of the hall at a center of the hall. There's etched glass French doors on the left and a brass nameplate that says the women's facilities, and then kind of
What a forward-thinking golf club.
and then there's oak doors on the right that say the men's facilities.
Oh, I see. Glass doors on the women's. Now I understand what they had in mind.
They are frosted.
Sure.
And
they are.
there's in this room, in the center of the floorboards, there's like lush green carpeting. So it's sort of like the wood along the edges, but the centers is very lush green carpeting. You kind of sort of get the idea that the rolls in the foyer were for that section. They meant to cover all of the wood as opposed to finishing it. So what do y'all want to do? Where should we go?
Does the carpet look very well attached?
I mean, it looks like a carpet. I don't know that you would. Do you have any builder skills? It does. I mean, it doesn't. It looks like it is attached. The corners are not coming up.
Yes, I try and test it with my foot and then move on. Well, would anyone like to peek in those doors? Otherwise, I'm heading straight towards the basement.
I'm good.
I guess to the basement then.
Lions and rats and golf clubs. Oh my!
Oh my.
So can I have you all roll? God, spot hidden. I feel like it's the only thing. No, listen. I want you all to roll. Listen.
Nope. Ooh, I'm gonna use 6 luck to make
Nice.
that a success.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Where is my luck?
Very top right.
Fail. But Jennifer, you listen. And also, what is the order everyone's kind of walking in right now?
I feel like Jennifer might be leading the way with the screwdriver.
Okay.
Oh, you've got the hammer. I took
So what's the
yeah,
order
yeah,
then?
yeah.
So it's Jennifer first, and the hall is wide enough that you could go 2 by 2. You don't have to go single file. But what's the order?
I'll walk with Jennifer just to give Edie and Fiona space to be arm in arm.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. So then it's Edie and Fiona on the front, and then Jennifer and Membel at the back. And you guys, okay. Fiona also succeeded in her listen roll. So, Jennifer, you hear a kind of weird, almost like a whispering. It sounds a bit like children whispering, maybe. Not really sure. but it's coming from very far away. And
Perfect.
Not a thing. I was doing my chant.
did you hear that?
Oh, yeah, I did.
I'm going to be honest. I'm doing my best not to hear anything right now.
So you sort of look around. And sorry, did you get a hard success?
I just got I pushed to make it.
Oh no.
30.
Spent luck, yeah. Just a
Okay.
regular.
All right, yeah.
Oh, I did. I got a hard success.
Ha.
All right. Well, I'm feeling it. It's like they're seeing. I can't. It's like they're talking to us, and it's something meant ease maybe, and then ace.
What?
Well,
It sounds a bit like Arthur, but he's so high pitched.
You're hearing Arthur, but he sounds like a high-pitched child.
Is he asking about power?
No, I don't. It's very mumbled. And then, but you have to roll for sanity, Jennifer.
oh,
Fiona failed again.
Which direction do you hear it coming from?
hard
It's
success.
sweet. It's like that's in my head.
No, it's not in your head. I can hear it as well.
No, I mean I feel like I hear it in my head.
But I can hear it as well. And not as well as you can hear it, but I hear it. You're not alone in this. It could just be...
Jennifer, what if it's in your head as well?
Arthur, if it's you, can you knock? Alright, that's what they do.
I don't think anyone hears anything.
Arthur?
Does he answer?
No.
I think we should get into this basement. Who's with me?
I agree.
You do hear something kind of behind you, almost like a creaking on the floorboards coming from the women's changing room. I think let's go to let's just go somewhere, I guess. Fiona's
You don't
freaking
want
out a
to-
little bit.
You don't want to look at that creek, do you?
We should. We're here to investigate. What if it's Arthur? What if he's hiding? What if he really hated that argument that he had with his wife?
And what if no one checked the women's changing room because they wouldn't think you would have gone into the women's changing room?
Yes, he could be hiding there. All right,
Right.
let's push the door on the count of 3. We'll all do it together.
Okay.
Honey,
One.
as long as we're all together.
Yeah, I guess
yes.
so.
1, 2,
3.
the door's locked.
Oh.
Edie, the key on the key ring, perhaps?
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. I thought I gave it to you.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Suit
actually,
me.
let's just all roll strength because we did all push.
Oh.
Might have busted through it. Okay, cool.
We
No,
all
we need the
failed.
key. We need the key.
Yeah, is it on the key ring?
Yes.
All right. Just keep trying until we find it.
Yeah.
All 3 bump their heads.
Okay, so the women's changing area, it's sort of there's fitted wooden lockers along 2 of the walls. The walls are lilac and the lockers are painted to match, lovely lady colors.
Ooh, very.
There's wooden polished benches kind of running parallel to each other. There is a single light bulb on top of, sort of hanging down, lighting up the room. There's a flower fluted light fixture is fixed to the wall, but they're not on. They're not like connected yet. You can see kind of wires coming down. And there's a few sort of like theatrical bulbs, like those fancy mirrors. Yeah, and that's it. Just sort of looks like a locker room.
Do any of the lockers look interesting, stand out at all? They're open or they're closed in an unusual way?
Nope, they look like they're brand new lockers. Now is everyone in the room?
I went in.
Okay,
Mhm.
so as soon as you enter the room, you now all hear this. And you hear, never comes mint and ease and base and
Mint and ease and base.
Basement?
He's in the basement. Oh,
Nairn is in the basement?
Can I quickly run and throw open the door to the isn't there a shower or another bathroom or something off the
there is a women's shower room, yes.
Just if I peek in there, do I see anything interesting at first glance?
And you're just peeking in?
Yes.
It sort of has got 3 shower stalls. There's a toilet. And none of the stall doors have they haven't got doors yet. So it's just sort of an empty stall. The tiling and
other.
Sorry.
You don't hear Arthur, but you do hear.
I think there's a baby pig in here.
Baby pig.
I close the door.
There was definitely a baby pig.
Okay. There's probably some animal that got trapped in the basement. We should just go down there, let the poor thing out, and go home and have a good sleep.
There's just an animal trapped, and Arthur's just been here taking care of the poor thing, and it's just that's it. That's all. It's all explainable. There's.
Did I hear the baby pig coming from the shower room?
You just kind of heard it echoing in. Yeah, you heard it echoing in the shower room.
Will you all come into the shower room with me quickly?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. All right.
Okay,
All
I go
together?
in there, screwdriver drawn, and peek in every corner that I couldn't see from the doorway.
Hey, you looking for the baby pig? I'll just sit here.
Do you want to hold my hand?
If you're it's fine. I'll just wait here on this nice bench. You have fun in the shower room.
All right, I go in there.
I'll stay with Fiona, and just in case, I'll stand between the 2 rooms. If I can. Is that possible?
So you're gonna stand in the doorway?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, in case it gets locked or something like that.
Jennifer?
I'm going in with Mimble.
Okay. So Memble and Jennifer are going into the shower room. Fiona is staying on the bench, and Edie is hanging in the doorway, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you doing in the shower room?
I just want to clear every stall and just make sure that there's not, a baby pig anywhere.
Where did you hear the noise?
Bouncing off the walls?
Oh,
Do I
Great.
see anything?
No, you see kind of construction material. They were still working on this room.
Wrong room. All right, onward to the basement.
all right.
So, okay.
Basement.
Before you get to the basement, Edie, you feel a sort of tug at your wrist, pulling you into the women's changing room. And then you hear Fiona scream. And then all of a sudden you're gone. You're not in the women's changing room anymore. You're in sort of a misty plane. And you see Arthur.
Okay.
And he looks at you and he goes, "Power!" And then all of a sudden you're in the women's changing room again, and Fiona's not there.
Fiona?
Thimble? Jennifer?
Yes, darling, we're right here, standing in front of you. Where'd Fiona go?
I explain exactly what just happened to me.
Ooh.
And
And
that
when
happened right where you're standing.
Did you see me disappear?
I don't think so, dear. We were looking in shower stalls for baby pigs.
I mean, the door didn't seem to slam into my back, so it wasn't like I left and then came back. Everything is still, and I'm still here. It's just I am here, and she is gone, and I went somewhere, and no one saw me leave.
But you saw
Okay.
Arthur.
Yes, and he talked about power, and I explained crystal streams.
Oh, that's right. That was a thing.
yeah.
What are crystal streams?
Crystal has dreams of
Crystal's
Arthur in a
dreams.
misty field, and like the first night there was nothing, just a misty field. The second night she heard his voice desperately calling from the distance, saying help. And then the third night she saw a slight faded apparition, but then him saying help, and he either said stop the power or more power.
Well, those are two very conflicting directions.
Yes.
Just now all he said was the power.
Okay.
Darn it! I'm good with my hands, but I don't know about electronics.
Can I go over and is there a light switch to try and flip?
Yeah, it
Or
just
it's
turns.
on.
It's on. The light's currently on.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to turn them off and back on.
Okay.
Did anyone disappear?
Fiona's still gone.
Right. Oh my.
Shall we go to the basement? There might be a power room in the basement.
Yes, well, I think it is of significance that on our blueprints we had 2 rooms down there and now we don't, and there's a missing man and now there's a missing woman and everyone's missing and there's missing rooms. It seems correlated.
I think Fiona just got spooked and ran out.
That's fine.
One explanation. Oh, how do you explain the misty plane?
That's true. I don't know how long I was gone.
wait a moment.
Edie, roll for sanity.
Okay. What happened to me? Sorry, I didn't mean to click on that.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
good
I'm
thing
so
you
glad.
got that roll out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to
Um,
switch windows and accidentally rolled. Sorry, but that's not great. I could.
Go ahead and roll
luck on sand.
D4. And you lose 3 sanity. How many have you lost since you
None.
entered? Okay, great.
I've been very
Perfection.
calm.
Perfection. I mean, 3 is nothing to giggle at, but still. All right. So you are now all standing in the women's changing room, yes?
I think we're heading out of the changing room and down into the basement.
Okay. Because you have a map, you know where the basement door is. Otherwise, you may not even see it. The basement door is blended in with the wall. There's kind of a barely visible seam. There's no handle, but you do notice a keyhole. And you have keys.
Ha-ha!
I test each key until I find the right one.
You do. You find the right one. And it opens to sort of a very basement-y style staircase leading down.
Who's first? I do believe Fiona was your dear friend, Dee Dee. Maybe you'd like to take the first step?
That's fine. I can do this.
I'll be right behind you.
I'm going to hold on to her shoulders.
Thank you, Mimble. Very
Yes, right here.
bolstering.
So the basement, the stairs kind of go down and then curve around. They're old, creaky wooden stairs. The walls of the basement are stone. It's a little bit damp down there, There are boxes and crates littering the floors. As you enter, the first room you enter is the storage room. It's a very large room. And yeah, there's just boxes and crates everywhere. In the center of the room is another pile of crates with like a cloth over it. It's very storage style stuff. There are 3 doors that you see. And it's sort of built, it's it's the minimum amount of building. You know, they didn't take the time to like put up drywall and paint it and wallpaper it. It's like wood walls, very simple wood doors. Nothing crazy.
No wallpaper.
There
The
are
front.
there are the 3 doors from left to right. The very far left one has a picture of a wine bottle. The center one has a lightning bolt, and the one on the right has an arrow pointing out and a guy doing this.
Well, I'm
Shall we-
conflicted. Oh, yes.
I was going to say, shall we check the one with the power room?
Well, power has been the word of the night. Edie?
I want to I pull up the 2 maps and like show where like it looks like they sealed off, like going around the corner to where the other storage room and coal pit were, and see if like the wood paneling there looks any different, or if it's like seamless, or if there's any keyholes or anything that shows that they blocked off that section of the basement.
So you're going through rooms?
No, I was gonna look there's like, it seems like in the corner, like underneath where you come down the stairs. Like
So there's what you see is rooms. You can't get to that corner without going through one of the rooms.
Yeah, it looks like it's plastered up at this point. But
right.
Nimble looks upon the maps with you and notices the strange occurrence.
Nimble,
Well,
you're good at appraising. Do you see any patchwork done here?
oh, can I check? I mean, I'm sure I do.
And you're handy with a hammer.
not necessarily. I'll follow Jennifer's lead into the electrical room to begin with.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
So into the electrical room. So in here you see like electrical junction boxes. There's a telephone access point. There's thick insulated wires, bundles of thinner wires, and they snake up from the electrical boxes, up into the floor, clearly going to the rest of the clubhouse. And there's a much smaller set of wires that from the telephone box as well that also goes up. Each of the large electrical boxes has a bright yellow painted words that say live electricity.
That feels dangerous.
Yes.
He said cut the power or keep the power or lose the power. Yes?
Yes.
Is there like a switch, like anything that?
Well, all the
indicates-
boxes are shut right now. There is one box in the center, like most of them have like smaller wires coming up. There's one box in the center that's got like 2 large things actually coming up from the ground into them versus going up into the house.
Maybe this one, and I'll see if I can open it.
You're trying to open the center one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it opens, and there's 2 things in there. One of where the one cable in there, it says external main, and the other one says generator backup. Do you have an electrical repair?
I have mechanical repair.
I have a
Electrical.
10.
Okay, well, if you want to go ahead and roll, everyone roll electrical repair for what you have. And yeah, Becca, I'll let you roll mechanical repair.
Yes,
figure out
what?
something.
Oh, crit success. No need.
Wow. Wow. Okay, that's awesome.
I hold my dice. Well,
What?
I mean, I started to approach and then say, "Oh, you've got it." Yes.
Yeah, so basically you're able to determine, dang it, that's so good. You're basically able to determine where each of these wires lead to. You get almost a moment of clarity, as though, some outer being has entered your mind and told you everything you need to know about electricity. So you sort of figure out exactly which wires are going to which part of the house, what part is the main. You basically know everything there is to know about this junction box. So if there's anything you want to try to do with it, you can do it.
Okay, I was gonna, if the power was off, I was gonna turn it on. If it was on, I was gonna turn it off.
The power is currently on.
then I turn it off.
Okay. It's going to take the switch is a bit heavy. It might take one or two of you to pull it down.
I'll assist when I see what I'm going for with my strength.
Yes, assistance, please.
I'll hold the torch and keep an eye out for anything that changes.
Okay,
You
great.
need-
So is Mimbles assisting you?
I believe the technical, if you're sharing a roll, then basically you'd subtract my total strength from.
Oh, I'm not going to make you roll for pulling the thing down. It's just
I
in character.
shove.
She can't do it alone. Okay, awesome. So yeah, it takes a moment. So what you've done is you've shut off the main. Okay, so it takes a moment, and all of the power goes out, and then there's this vroom, 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 and some of the power comes back on, and you realize that there is a backup generator as well that you can control from this room.
I'll turn that off as well.
Well, he either said keep it on or turn it off, and so, yes, we may banish him forever, but we may also save him.
I
So-
figured if one was happening, we do the other one.
So the power now goes off. It's completely dark and it's completely silent. Can I have you all roll listen for me?
This reminds me of Girl Scout camp. Can I push?
Yeah, sure.
I listen so hard and
Can
it
I-
does nothing.
What does pushing do again?
It just means you roll it again, and if you fail the second time, something terrible happens.
You know what? I'll push as well.
Okay.
I think I immediately get tinnitus. There's a ringing that just won't stop.
Oh,
Okay, so Becca, I'm gonna say from now on, you are going to have a -10 to all of your sensing rolls. So any listen or spot hidden or anything like that.
That feels fair.
Yeah. Jennifer, you hear through the wall another, like almost like a little generator churn up.
Through the wall that's like walled off behind, like in the
Mhm.
secret area.
Yes.
How solid is that wall?
It's very solid.
There's another generator back there.
I size up the screwdriver in my hand and think about trying to plunge it through the wall.
Oh, I totally forgot. It's really fucking cold down here. Like so cold you can see your breath. And everything is also, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot that. It's so
Didn't
neat.
dress for this.
Everything
Oh, no.
is covered in frost. Like the light bulbs, all the crates and everything is covered in frost. But you're fine for now. You're just really cold.
Oh my, it's like an icebox. In fact, you could store meats down here.
Oh.
Maybe not.
And Edie, I'm gonna have you roll a spot hidden for me.
Oh, hard
Yeah.
success. Nice.
Perfection. Okay, so you are specifically checking, because earlier you said you wanted to check that area where the hallway was.
yes, if that's okay.
Okay.
Like going
Yes.
from under the stairs.
Yes. Okay. So now that you've turned the electricity off, you're basically going over there with your torch, yeah? Or I guess you don't have to.
Is
I
the
mean, do whatever you
second
want.
backup generator
So
providing any light to the electrical of that was already
No.
on before? We
None
hear
of
it,
the-
but it's
none-
not doing
Yeah,
anything.
none
that
of the
we
lights
see.
have come back on.
Okay.
you said everything was covered in frost, but what about the wall connected to what would on the other side be the coal pit? Is there frost?
Yeah, but
on
it's
that
sort of
wall?
like coming up from all of the walls are frosted as well, but it starts at the bottom and kind of goes up. But yeah, it's just it doesn't seem like the cold is coming from something specifically. It's just the entire floor is it's about negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit in this room.
I always thought of Arthur
cool.
as more of a summer man.
And we should absolutely try to find any way back there.
So are you checking that corner?
Yeah.
Sorry, because you had mentioned it before, so I just wanted to get back. Yes. Okay, so you do find kind of like a seam under the frost. And there seems to be a little like out of place, almost knot hole.
Take Jennifer's hammer.
Take Jennifer's hammer.
What are you going to do with the?
I'm going to not hammer it, but just press it against the knot to see if it's like a push button release or something.
Yeah, it is actually. As you push it in, it doesn't take a lot of effort. You feel it click, and the door kind of like pops open just enough.
I just didn't want to touch it with my hands.
Edith Ann Smithfield. Excellent work.
I wrote a story once.
That's right. I remember the case of the library under the stairs.
It was charming.
Yeah, so this door opens. Do you open it more? Do you go in? What do you?
Yeah, I set the torch. Are you ready?
Ready?
Okay, so as you go in, it's a very dark, a very thin corridor, but you see kind of a light or a faint blue light kind of at the end as you go through.
Okay.
I think we're like a conga line again.
Okay, so we've got Edie, and then who?
I'll go second.
Okay, and then the first room you enter looks like living quarters. There's 2 cots in here, and it's like there's stale food. It kind of smells like sweat and urine, and it's kind of gross. Like, and some of the food is newer, but there's some stuff that looks like it's been here a long time. There's like moldy cheese, there's moldy bread, there's like half of a rotten ham. It's really
Who wouldn't
great.
finish their ham?
I know, right? There is a small table with 2 chairs sitting at it. You know, it's very modest living quarters. There is a serving tray that holds about 19 books. They're all in experimental physics. There's an abacus on that same tray, and some chalk, and there's a slate table.
May I use library use to glean what all those books have in common?
Yeah, you can just look at them. They're all. You
specific.
mean more specifically what type of physics?
Yeah, or what that goal of that physics would be.
Okay.
Physics.
Sure. Yeah. Roll physics.
Ooh.
Yay!
Oh.
Beat.
Amazing. Can you also roll an occult roll for me?
Nope.
Okay,
can
that's fine.
push.
So they
Not
so,
on a. Yeah.
So it's mostly like esoteric topics and exploratory physics. A majority of them focus on a radical hypothesis relating to electromagnetism, and etheric projection. So it's basically it's sort of about almost like astral projection is sort of the idea. A lot of them you can glean with that success that they were looking into different dimensions, different worlds, astral projection, how to like and the structure of our known universe, things of that nature.
I just stare at Edie with my eyes glazed over.
Okay. Basically, they're trying to find doorways to other realities, like we saw in that window.
Well, it seems he's done it, doesn't it?
Maybe
Although
he
not
just
to his
can't-
liking.
Maybe he can't find his way back.
Yes. Or are these even our friend Arthur's books?
Or is there any
These books are very old, and they look like they have notes in them. They've clearly been down in this space for a while.
Monograms? Yes. Any monograms?
On the books?
Ooh.
Sure. Yeah. A few of them have the initials of the two professors that Fiona was speaking about earlier. And you, of course, remember what those initials were because you were hanging on every word she was saying.
John Campbell. No, that's the dead
Dr.
golfer.
Gelmer and Jan Luckley.
Yes. Although she couldn't quite remember it.
JL.
Okay. So, and there's a door leading to another room.
Okay. Shall we?
Indeed.
All right.
I will open the door.
And at this point, I'm going to share the basement map with you all. Because you've now seen every room, basically. So, as you enter that door, you see two bodies on cots. And you see a machine, an alien-looking machine. That's where the thrumming noise is coming from. It's nothing like anything you've ever seen before, even with your experience in physics and your experience in mechanical engineering, and Jennifer, your experience in travel. Do you have any science? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
So there's this crazy machine, and you see Arthur Macmillan hunched over controls. And these two bodies, they're these two people on the cots, a man and a woman, probably in their late 40s, early 50s. The clothes they're wearing are very shabby. They smell not great. So one might posit they are the inhabitants, the residents of the room you were just in. So what do you do? Also, how do you enter?
I take my screwdriver and I stab into the man over the controls' neck.
Okay. So he's not like hunched over. He's like lying on them.
Oh, so no one is conscious.
No. And you also recognize that man as Arthur Macmillan.
Right. I start to raise my screwdriver. And then I realize, oh gosh, they're all not conscious.
No.
Can I try and lift Arthur halfway up and just like grab his hair and try and look at his face?
Yeah. Do you want to roll strength for me?
You got it.
I succeed.
Okay, great. Yeah, so so what you're trying to do is just look at his face. Are you trying to pick him up entirely or just look at his face?
Just lift his like head up and see if there's any, breath, pulse, recognition in his eyes.
But you're lifting him to do this.
Yeah. I'm kind of letting his weight stay forward and turning his head to look at me.
Okay. Yeah, he appears unconscious.
I slap him.
Nothing.
But he's alive, as far as I can tell. Like there's some pulse or something.
He does.
Okay.
He does. It is a very slow pulse. Like if you check his pulse, at first you're concerned, but he does have a pulse. It's just much slower than you would think.
Well, maybe with that strength roll, I'd like to, be a little kinder and put my arms under his armpits and lay him down on the floor.
Okay. All right. So you've basically, what he was on top of was a series of controls, and that's just what you've uncovered there.
Jennifer, you seem to have a preternatural understanding of electronics. Can you see which ones are powering all this?
I will do my best. And I'll start looking for a big red button, a plug, a switch that says off.
There is a part in the corner that is thrumming a bit louder, than everything else.
Is it connected to?
It is connected to the machine, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna try to disconnect the machine.
Go ahead
from
and roll electrical repair again. Unless you have another skill that you're better at that you think would work in this scenario.
I don't know. I think this is what I've got.
All right. And if y'all would like to help, you can roll things as well. You are in the room.
I am actually quite dexterous with my hands. I'd like to follow the cables and, yes, sort of get in there from a mechanical sense of see what's doing what and what powers what with mechanical repair.
Love
Can I
it.
use
I'm
the
wondering if it's
library?
worth pushing. Okay, I'm not gonna push. I'm gonna let Mimble take
I
over.
got 67 on 70.
So Mimble, you do discover a way to kind of just like rip this plug out in a, not necessarily a graceful way, but you can mechanically shut this thing down if you'd like.
I look to Edie and Jennifer first.
Should I?
Can I roll physics one more time as well?
Sure. What
Would
are you
that
trying
help?
to get from that?
Just trying to see like where the physics is that they were talking about that is somewhere in this machine. If there's like another electrical power source that is going directly into fueling something else, or like
that's not really physics. That's electrical.
No idea.
If you're trying to find an electrical source.
I can't stand it anymore. Fiona is gone. Arthur is gone. Rip. Bring them back.
And give me a luck roll.
I shouldn't have spent so much trying to be stealthy down to the valet's room.
That's okay. You do succeed in turning this machine off.
I feel like I should probably get electrocuted on a 97.
You know what? I was. If you just let me finish.
I'm sorry, great minds.
You also do get electrocuted. So I need you to roll.
Can I fall over the controls exactly where Arthur was?
I need you to roll 1d8 for me. And y'all notice, so she has ripped the machine apart. The machine is off. Oh, great. But she is the part that goes into the ground, she is stuck to, and she is holding on to it.
Is that the part that's still producing power?
No, the machine is off. But this was from the power source going to the machine. She's literally being electrocuted and can't let go because of that.
Can I wrestle it out of her hand?
Yeah.
Like
Roll me either a
check her
strength or a brawl.
Okay.
Great. All right, you free her. As you free her, you hear a gasp coming from the ground as Arthur McMillan wakes up. Oh, bloody hell.
Arthur, is that you?
Watch.
Yeah.
Artie, so glad you could join the party.
And then the two
Arthur, darling, welcome
scientists
back.
wake up as well. They both sit up. And from Jan, you hear, no, we were so close. How could you pull us back?
I assure you, you were.
And the other
close.
the other doctor says, you idiots! We were in the dreamlands! Send us back! And he tries to get out of his bed and kind of collapses.
No.
Arthur, do you know what's happening here?
Who are they?
The
I think we should
squatters.
call it-
The squatters in my house, in my clubhouse. Where's my wife?
Where's Fiona?
From upstairs you hear, hello.
Never mind. Your wife is in bed. She's worried sick about you, Arthur.
Yeah. Yeah, so these three folks they're back. They're awake. There's still no power in the house. But they have returned and they seem, like they need serious medical attention, but they're here. The two scientists, the two doctors, continue to mumble about how upset they are at you. One of them discovers that the machine is broken, and has very cross things. But
Is there a telephone in that electrical room?
yes,
I would like to run to that and
Phone the authorities and insist they come to Thistledown at once.
yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll me mechanical, and we'll just see if you did that. That'll be great.
Oh yes, hard success.
So good. Your nimble fingers are quickly able to
Nimble, they call me.
connect the phone lines. At this point in history, the phone lines don't need power to work, so it's fine. So yeah, you call the police. You call Mrs. McMillan. Keating answers and obviously we shall send someone straight away. And they send a car to pick you up, and yeah.
Arrest these two. They not only have been squatting in the clubhouse, but seem to be trapping people in an astral plane.
I think they need a doctor and an asylum.
Yes, well, one and then the other. Or suppose they have both at the asylum.
This is a strange evening.
Yes. The basement is also much warmer. As soon as the machine goes off, the temperature increases until the point that by the time, Mimble, you're done with your phone calls, it's almost a normal sort of basement temperature.
Very strange.
Yeah. So Arthur McMillan has been saved.
Arthur, we'll be taking perhaps a commission on all of your jewelry purchases for the rest of, forever. And well, I suppose I would mind a cottage on your property here.
He's
else you want,
he's very weak. But let's say you bring Arthur back. The two scientists go to the hospital and will probably go to jail again afterwards. And you are dining now with the Macmillans in their home and Fiona. And they're extremely grateful. Really, girls, if you ever need anything at all, you can call upon us day and night. Yeah, yes, of course. Everything you've done has been amazing.
Oh, well, we couldn't possibly, we are just so happy to have you back.
Well, I'm happy to be back, obviously. It turned into Keating for a second. It's fine.
I think I'd like to stay on a while and finish my book.
Oh, of course, stay here as long as you want. You can learn the history of the area from Fiona. Yes.
Perfectly.
Right.
Oh, lovely.
Well, if Kilburn will allow me, I would like to return home to New York, but write him lengthy letters. Let's say every other day.
Yes. Shall I call him for you to ask?
Oh no, that was just an epilogue moment.
Right. Oh yes.
Yeah, she's plotting silently.
Right. So yes, the Macmillans are extremely, extremely grateful. And we learned that Edie takes advantage of that gratitude by staying on and writing probably her best book ever. Maybe finding love. Mimble returns to New York, but writes Kilburn every other day, developing a very close pen pal relationship.
Does he write back?
Yeah.
Aww.
Such relief.
But he doesn't he doesn't always respond to what you're saying. He just writes really long letters about like what it was like in growing up in his small town, and just it's like he's writing short like novellas to you about Southern life.
It's all I ever wanted.
Yeah, I think he fancies himself a writer. And what about Jennifer?
Now, Jennifer returns to New York, but continues to hop from place to place. She's a traveler. She can't stay in one place for too long.
Perhaps we'll have to tune in to find out Jennifer's next adventure. All right. So that was 19th hole.
Yay!
Yay!
Which we finally figured out is not an actual part of the golf course, but a term to refer to the clubhouse.
It is the clubhouse. Would have been good information to have in the beginning.
Ash, thank you so much for being our keeper these past 2 weeks.
Yes, thank you for having me. Yeah, I had lots of fun. Thank you, everybody. Let's go around and do our socials real quick. I am Ash Minnick. You can find me on all the things at Astronaut44. D&Dinacastle.com. Check out, get tickets. If you don't want to go this year because of things, we do have registration open for 2022. Amazing DMs, amazing things. Becca.
Well, I'll go to D&D in a castle. I might even run a thing. You can find me right here. Just keep on following. Head to youtube.com/goodtimesociety to find this episode after the fact if you missed the beginning and the previous episode and all other episodes of the Calyx, as well as our Star Trek rewatch podcast to boldly watch and our Saturday board game playthrough show, Gameplayed Live, as well as new tutorial videos on various board games all the times. Go check out youtube.com/goodtimesociety.
And Monique.
Hi, I'm Monique. I'm the Game Freak Geek Girl on Twitch and Game Freak Geek on Twitter. I do board games, Legos, video games, all kinds of stuff. So this was really, really a lovely experience. I've never played this game before and I loved it. So this is grand. Thank you.
Yay! That's so fun to say, Monique, Game Freak. And Erica.
Hi, I'm Erica. You can find me everywhere at A Style Pixie. You can also find me on Girls Guts Glory and on my personal Twitch channel where I stream Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Unless I'm doing Calyx, then I'm here.
Yay!
Playing
Thank you so
Jennifer.
much for being here. I appreciate
Thank
all
you.
of you. Thanks
I had
to
so much
everybody.
fun.
Thank you.
Bye.